Welcome back, all masters around India. Looking forward to their best team here in Pokemon Unite India Open 2023. Welcome back to the day 2 of the playoff bracket. We are looking forward to which team is going to go ahead because the journey is long. We did have 10 teams. 3 of the teams have made their way towards the lower bracket or the losers bracket yesterday. Today we are going to see another set of teams making their move there and maybe even the matches. But today we are going to start off with a winner bracket match. But before we go there, my name is Lucifer. Joining me on desk to start things off is going to be Raider. And Raider, what are you thinking of today's games that we have on hand?
Again, we were discussing on the backends that today is also going to be full of surprises, depending on the choices of Pokemons, the bans as well, and also how the team is going to work out. Because again, there are certain roster shuffles which have completely changed the whole game for that particular team.
There's been a lot, not just for one particular team. I think we will see when we talk about the rosters of the upcoming game that you will be surprised. None of the players that were there in that team is now there. It's a complete different lineup coming through, and I think that's what I am kind of looking forward to in the evolving scene of Pokemon Unite, as how other teams or other new players can put up their, I would say, master skill into action and look forward to getting themselves the badges or the trophies as they put themselves on the grandest of the stages. Right as now, as you know, towards the end of it, we are also going to be going in for none other than a LAN to decide who our India Open champions are going to be. But that
Yeah.
stage or that journey is going to be longer. Yesterday we spoke about it. Round two, we did see two games. As you can see, FS and Team Griffin have made their way ahead, but we still have winner bracket round two. Force Your Legacy, NDY, True Gravity, Revenant Esports who need to fight, and lower bracket we spoke about it, Raider. We have three
Yeah.
teams.
It's a City Esports and Clown5 along with SZ, and also Learn from Past also have been now pushed to the lower bracket. I think they have to really perform and eventually push themselves up in the ladder. Otherwise, what will happen is they are going to get eliminated, disqualified from the competition. That is something which is going to be scary for a lot of teams. So that's why,
Yeah.
if you talk about the performance, I do believe Griffin has got that zest, and they have like absolutely demolished their opponents, be it Team SATUL Esports or Team SZ. And SZ was the storyline of like 2-0 if I'm not wrong, and SATUL Esports was able to
Yes.
put up a fight in their mid rounds. That was the second match, if I'm not wrong. So with 2-1 in their favor, yes, Team Griffin is right now in the winners bracket round three. Even if Esports is right over there by beating Clown5 and pushing them down to the ladder of lower bracket round one. But yes, this will be very interesting to watch how Revenant and True Gravity is going to perform today. And then we will, of course, will be able to watch the Force Your Legacy versus NDY match as well. Their masters will be ready, the players will be ready, and their Pokemons will be ready for the Pokemon for the evolutions. But really have to see what kind of combination they are going to utilize and how they're going to
Mm-hmm.
play with it. Because even when the combination is right, yesterday we did saw a lot of downfall coming in from said particular teams.
Yeah, we are right now in a very weird meta phase, if you want to put it like
True.
that. That you cannot stick on to one single Pokemon and say that if you ban this Pokemon, you have an advantage if you don't. Because yesterday you were mentioning about it, right? The Zoroark ban
Yeah.
coming through. I was watching
Yeah.
the game on the backlines. We will talk about it as we go ahead, but right as of now, we have a match in front of our hands. It's going to be Team True Gravity versus Revenant Esports. And starting things off from True Gravity, ex-Revenants player Zishal playing with Vulcan, Melon coming through,
Mhm.
Miriam as well as Vixen. Here we can see Vix Zion, he's made his move, and if players remember him, we know him as Vixen from India Open 2022, where he played for
Yeah.
God's Reign and were the champions of India Open that time. But talking about Revenant, we have a different lineup here coming through. Kid, Tensai,
Mm.
Crowley is there, but he's moved to Burzum, and then we see Apple as well as Goku coming in the mix.
Well, the names have changed, but I do believe the meta is also going to be one of those things which these players will be able to exploit a lot, because again they have got the experience factor in their favor, but now they are playing with newer faces, so that might be a troublesome situation for them. As we did saw, yes, City Esports falling down to the to the lower bracket, to be precise, yesterday
Mm-hmm.
due to the fact that they were unable to synergize their play. But today, it's really very important for all the individuals who are performing, all the masters who are performing, to be at their peak performance and then eventually push themselves to the winners bracket round three, where patient Griffin and FS Esports is just waiting for it. So yeah, this competition will be absolutely interesting. Revenant Esports have to really see how they're going to unfold their spirits, and also True Gravity Esports is also going to be filled with stars. So players like Vulcan can really pull off them. But again, it's a 5v5 scenario, so that team effort has to be there.
Yeah, I think we were also talking about this for people who have seen Vulcan play. We see a lot of Zacian coming in from his, and even when
Yeah.
Mewtwo Y and X came through, we could see that as well. Again, this is I'm talking about in circuits where they go for 5-man stack and try to push rank. Now coming into the competitive circuit of things, how teams play, because they have to figure out not only that they put their best game, which is the A game coming ahead, but also find a way to counter their opponents, because it is going to happen that in the draft phase you pick a Pokemon and the next two choices coming in is going to be from the opponent who will try to counter your Pokemon choices, which maybe they can find chaos on and fight it down. So as of now, it's going to be an interesting play that we'll be seeing. Let's jump into the draft phase and see
Let's
what's
go.
cooking over there.
All right, the tricky phase of ban. The ban phase is already here. I do believe Zacian ban will be coming in for sure, because nobody really wants to like overpower that particular Pokemon coming in from the opponent's perspective. But yes, patiently waiting to see what happens. Inteleon has already been chosen. It is going to be an Inteleon ban coming in from the players like Wilton, Z Shawl, and along with Melon and Muram over there. But from Team Revenant's perspective, we'll get to see a Zacian ban coming in, so that they can deny all that advantage coming in from the players of Team True Gravity. And there you go. Ban phase is now going to get completed. With that, we do have our two bans Pokemons. It is going to be a Zacian coming from Revenant and Inteleon coming in from the players of True Gravity Esports.
Now Apple is going to be an interesting player coming in from Revenant, and with the big brains of Crowley being there in the mix, I want to see how it's going to be. Again, for people wondering why where is Crowley? We saw it in the images. It's going to be Burzum that we are seeing, who's going to be playing right now with a newer name and maybe even newer playstyle coming through. But quickly talking about the Pokemon choices, starting it off Vulcan quickly on a Hoopa, and then we see a Blaziken and Umbreon coming through. But on the other end, the first two choices were a Slowbro and a Mew.
Well, they've got their attacker, they've got their defender, but now it all trickles down to what their all-rounder is going to be, and there you go. We have Kid, Distraction to be precise, playing with the Buzzwole in their favor along with the beautiful supporter as well. But looking forward to see what the other players are going to make a choice as. But yes, definitely the play has to be very, very precise from both the individual teams. Because remember guys, it's a BO3 scenario. Whoever falls goes down to the lower bracket, where again, the competition will be quite hectic. But there you go. We do see a Venusaur and a Chandelure coming in from the place of True Gravity.
There is now last choice coming in from Apple. I spoke about it. It's going to be a deadly player to watch out. Comes in with even an energy amplifier and an attack weight. And Kid also has an attack weight on the Buzzwole along with the weakness policy. Interesting right as now in terms of hefty hitters. On the other end, we see from True Gravity, there's going to be Merriam who's playing on Blaziken with the attack weight and an Eos cookie. So it's going to be a double stacks coming through from his end. But everybody else, it seems like not much stackers other than Melon, who also has the cookie. So it's going to be an interesting one. Zishal again looking forward to playing on the energy amplifier, so he wants to keep using his Unite as much as possible. I want to see how that works out. Tensai has the experience share along with the Slick Spoon as well as a muzzle band. Now we'll focus back and we'll see how this works out. Again, because of this they will get that blue HP, which will help them in a couple of fights where they would want to survive longer here. True. But I really like seeing Vixion on none other than Chandelier. I think this Pokemon, after it was kind of put into the fray, we saw the new Pokemon coming through. We did not see a lot more utilization. I think only in the initial games of any competitive circuits Chandelier was being used, but right as now Vixion bringing this out here in India Open, I'm looking forward to how this works out. Frontline heavy seems to be a little bit better for Team Revenant, but let's see with the help of Hoopa how can they make those rotations and control of paths better.
I mean, that's the best part. Yesterday, we did saw a lot of Hoopa play coming in from all of the teams. I mean, if you talk about the last game yesterday, it was Clown5 who was able to utilize it. Skyesports eventually was able to get the best out of it. So Hoopa is definitely one of those supporters who can clearly change the whole momentum of the game, shift a lot of things because of those hyperspace holes and also the rings and bounds that comes in the later stages. But for now, when we dive into the game, we do see a lot of farming being done. In the top lane, we have a Buzzwole going in. In the middle lane, we do have an Eevee trying to evolve ASAP so that factor of giving out the damage and also pushing down the player is going to be there.
I'm looking forward to stacks. Yesterday we saw the Buzzwole not getting any stacks at all. It was on the SATL. But here both the ends, both the Pokemons which had the attack weight, they're like, we're going to go sit for stacks. Nothing else. A quick eject coming in from Kid doesn't want to involve in a fight because the wild Pokemon, bunnies, are being tried to be stolen away. Doesn't happen, making sure Goku also doesn't let them run away with it. Even the Baltoy, they'll be forced off that direction. A big damage with the Boing coming through, but they do not find the KO as he heads over to the goal zone, gets the blue shield. But in the meantime, make sure that the wild Pokemon Eos Energy still is in favor of Revenant.
Still, the contestment looks absolutely amazing. It's Revenant Esports which is trying to put some goals with the attack weight in the favor, and Venusaur on the other corner is also looking forward to evolve really rapidly. But yes, we do see a lot of control coming in onto the top lane rather than going for the bottom lane, because in the bottom lane there are 3 Pokemons coming in from Revenant Esports but just 2 that are there from Team True Gravity. So let's see what that kind of contestment will be. But eventually, if we talk about the Altarian Swablu, it's already taken the advantage, and also with the purple buff, I do feel Chandelure can actually put in the effective damage. But there you go. The TPing back situation is also going to work out because the hyperspace holes, to be precise, are going to be really very helpful, as we did saw initially in the first day as well, that Hoopa can really change the whole game, and that's exactly what is happening right now. But
there's no
and
Apple
leveling up is going to be very important. But there you go. Chandelier goes down by the perspective of Apple. Leafeon is directly into the enemy's territory in their farming angles.
Vulcan can be in trouble. Goku is right behind. Big Boing coming through, but finally Umbreon comes through, and both the Blissey as well as Leafeon decide to peel off from the battle, not involve any further. But in the meantime, it is now Combuskin is not being allowed to stack, whereas Kid, he wants to find the stack. The last hit being missed. Again, the Buzzwole takes it away. A quick run away with the help of the hyperspace hole. Umbreon gets a chance to reset and heal. But I still don't see Team True Gravity getting control of things as of now. I think Revenant, they have good control. They're looking forward to indulging themselves in the next battle, but the next battle will be the Altaria and Swablu, and then we're going to be seeing the first Regis. But it looks like a big heavy stack as Revenant are pushing towards the top path.
And indeed, Revenant Esports is definitely trying to make a margin over the top path, and also in the mid lanes they are trying to farm a lot. But Hoopa gets KO'd. That's interesting. We was not expecting that, but there you go. The KO comes in. Chandelure with the final form in his favor. Definitely, we might see some interesting picks coming in. Even the Solar Beam is dishing out the right kind of damage. The players have been pushed back to their goal zones, but not enough to like put them completely down. There might be a KO coming in for Tensai. Tensai is trying to fall back, but there is a possibility. But even the Regirock is here. So yes, the contestment is going to be quite interesting from over here. Inside trying to fall back a bit, but eventually gets KO'd by Hoopa. It's not going to be that easy for those individuals to really survive, but the Regieleki has been melted down in the favor of Revenant Esports. Well, this will for sure give an edge to those individuals.
Yeah, it looks like Revenant have decided that they want to score and stack, because we did see a lot more stacking items being held from players of Revenant, the Pokemons of Revenant, whereas True Gravity look forward to the standard Regi that we generally see indulging in a battle, but they have not gotten control because of that slow bro. Tensai playing it really well, not letting them do anything, and then the big Solar Beam to find one on none other than the little itty bitty, still not evolved Venusaur. It's going to cause a lot of trouble. But as of now, look at Tensai. He's snatching away their barrier. Unite comes through to counter that. The Moonlight Trance also comes through, and which forces the players of Revenant to back off. And attention right now all on Tensai. They want to take this frontline damage dealing tank away as fast as possible. Mew also was super low, but again takes Hoopa and runs away. They've caught the Blissey, forced another KO, and in the meantime they're all forcing their hand towards the goal zone. Goals being dunked as Kid tries to push them out, and now he forced the hand to use the Unite, but it misses, and now it looks like Team True Gravity out of this bottom lane fight. They've got things a little bit under control.
Well, indeed, in the bottom lane, once again, Team Revenant Esports is trying to step it up. They are getting some individual KOs, but eventually, if we talk about the top lane, the first goal zone is already destroyed. They are looking forward to destroy another one, and that will be a bottom lane goal zone. There you go. They're dumping the goals, and with that, yes, the goal zone is going to get destroyed, and it is looking like Team True Gravity is feeling that pressure right now. Hoopa is about to get KO'd. Look at that. Buzzwole being fathomable, but at the same point, it was Leafeon who was able to get it. Venusaur, well, again, trying to farm a lot, trying to evolve a lot, because look at Leafeon and also Mew coming in from Revenant Esports. They've already got to level 10 and level 11 respectively. So that's a good play coming in from those individuals. But right now, again, Altaria Swablues and the Regis will be coming into the concern, because Regieleki is about to be there in the top lane. Blaziken on the other corner, from Murum's perspective, is now trying to move. Who was the first goal in the bottom lane? Oh, Hoopa has to work out right here, and eventually True Gravity has to pull in the strength. But there you go. Regieleki meltdown will be coming in. Buzzwole finds Hoopa. Not a very good scenario for the players of Team True Gravity, but they're able to completely destroy the bottom lane goal zone. And Umbreon on the other corner is also going to go ahead and secure a few more.
Even the bottom Regi is being secured from True Gravity. It doesn't seem to be working out for them. But in the meantime, this Regieleki that consistently Revenant are able to take is also helping them destroy the goal zones. However, it doesn't seem like they've had a great overdunk scenario here, because you can see Revenant are only at 210. Vixion right now keeping control of the top path. Tier 2 is going to be trying to put a stop, but in the meantime a big 45 was about to be scored from the Leafeon at the bottom path, and is now stuck because two players, they're trying to do him some damage. Tries to dodge and run away, but the Hoopa's range catches him, and I think that was the basic hit coming through, and that is going to be one KO, which helps Team True Gravity to run ahead.
We'll have to see what happens next. And eventually Mew moving forward. Hoopa with the Rings Unbound can definitely be quite chaotic. Vulcan, not a lot of HP for him, and Mew is definitely damaging him out. So it will be very interesting to watch how that play is going to unfold. But Blaziken on the corner is also trying to secure a few more goals, but that the Unite is done and dusted. Now in the top lane we do see individual Pokemon trying to go ahead and go for the scores, but Blaziken finds Leafeon, and at the same point I do believe Chandelure is also going to inflict a lot. There might be a possible KO coming in, but Hoopa gets taken down. Not just that, it's Blaziken who has been taken down, so definitely with that Chandelure is also going to back out, because there is no support coming in as such. And at the same point, even Revenant Esports has to step back a bit so that they can survive for a little bit longer. Otherwise the KOs could have been coming in, but this, with the Solar Beam, Mew definitely wanted to steal that HP, but eventually that is not the case.
It is now goals getting super close. Revenant have been unable to dunk anything. 177, 30 more goals is what Team True Gravity needs to close the gap. Egg bombs, to try and steal a little more of Aeos energy and experience. Ready for another. A solar beam also comes through, and therefore the Aeos energy denied for now. Regieliki again about to be spawning at top. Same goes at the bottom, and you can see this time Revenant are a little bit split. They are also intending, because this is the last Reggie that they're going to be fighting before the legendary fight coming through. Two players are at the bottom, and keeping them guard is going to be the Umbreon, and True Gravity will get that for themselves without any trouble. In the meantime, the top path, again, no contention from True Gravity. They let Revenant take it away. They get it. It's time for the last battle. Kid is going to be a little bit further away from getting his Unite and also reaching 13. If he does, I think his damage output is going to be good. I'm not too sure of how many stacks he was able to do, but Bism, as of now, will try to keep them in check with a Solar Beam to check the tall grasses and will flush out where Melon is. Melon gets Hyperspace Hole, so will be going in for a full heal and then TPing back, but at that TP, puts a big Solar Beam as well as a booster attack coming through to do some damage. So right as now, Revenant, it looks like they're just keeping the players of True Gravity in check rather than initiating a legendary battle. Big score, tried Miriam, but he sees a player. A Moonlight Trance coming in from Melon doesn't do any help. In the meantime, Vulcan, is he going to pop his Rings Unbound, call his teammate? It doesn't seem to be as of now, and the other players are still waiting for their opportunity, and seems like level 13 has been hit by the Buzzwall. It still hasn't found value. True Gravity have started right now draining the health of Rayquaza, indulging in this final stretch battle. It's super close, as you can see, because there was a 20 Aeos energy score coming through, so Revenant still might be in lead, but they cannot achieve a victory. In the meantime, Vulcan pops his Rings Unbound, calls his teammate, everybody jumping down to isolate the players. Burzum is super away, the Blissey goes down, they're looking for finding another. Yes, they do. Big 2 KO streaks coming in from Venusaur, and this heal is working out along with the Petal Dance that they made do. Last one player is going to be Burzum, that's Crowley. He went away from his teammates to see for a score, and that score ended up being a casualty for him. He is managing to get 100, but I think before he does, there can be a jump on the jump pad, but no, it doesn't happen. He gets the 100 dunked. In the meantime, there's counter hundreds being dunked from True Gravity, and True Gravity make a comeback in this final stretch without the Rayquaza, as well as deny the Rayquaza for Revenant. And Revenant's chances as of now, after having a good control over the battle in starting things off with Thea Sky Ruins, have seemed to lost control of it. This battle has gone in favor of Team True Gravity, and Revenant, their Pokemon unable to close it in the final stretch.
Consistent start in the next part as well. They're able to crack, yes, select because of the effort to like from the city to the next zone. But already waiting for the move competition in the lower bracket round of the one. Yes, this was a good start. But the start it was from level people jumping down a lot of boats, and actually they were able to destroy the initial 2 boots. But in the later stages, when it was over the Rayquaza fight, he started to change the graphic in that case, and True Gravity now who has got the advantage.
Great show coming in from both Revenant as well as True Gravity, but this battle, the winners for a now in the best of 3 to start things off in game number 1 is going to be True Gravity. As you can see, initial KOs not that great coming in from True Gravity, better from Revenant Esports. True Gravity, however, I think one right move that they were doing consistently was taking the bottom Reggie, because of which their defenses got stronger, and especially the last one where they got an attack boost with that Reggie steal, and it worked out for that last fight, especially when their ranged attacker, that big Solar Beam Mew, went away from the team. I think immediate use of Rings Unbound, the Unite coming in from Vulcan, gave the chance, and then Seashell I think played really well with heal, Giga Drain as well as Petal Dance, and brilliant show that we saw. You can see damage output not being great from True Gravity's players, but Revenant, Burzum, that's Crowley with 61,000, which is good stuff that we saw, but towards the end it was not there.
They're trying to evolve in their own pace, and they were able to figure out what they had to do. And yes, with that playing favor, I do believe Gravity has now got that crucial advantage that they really want to do. Going forward, these are only the one who was absolutely adequate for the part of getting all those skills and also putting down a lot of goals. 128. Look at this graph. This will show you how from the start it was some abilities to use scoring down the goals. They will get all the ready to be honest. In the first book, it was the Regis coming in the favor of Revenant for Revenant Esports. Although the Reggie Rocks and the Reggie Steels were in the favor of these two Revenant Esports, they were able to get that advantage in the favor of these two. See how Revenant Esports will score with even a single point in that stretch of the
Yeah.
the fastest time they were able to score 100, but that's all. That's all they were able to do. Once they got it all.
You can see here Leafeon as well as Buzzwall, they were only able to get 3 and 2 stacks respectively, whereas on the opponent's end, the Blaziken which was there was able to get 5 stacks towards the 8-minute mark, and I think that's where the ability of putting out a lot more damage was a little bit better from True Gravity, and the players kind of separated from Revenant's end. Maybe it was a little bit of a choky scenario that they're like, oh wait, this battle is not happening. Players of True Gravity are keeping a neutral between us, and they're making sure it doesn't progress to a battle. So Revenant decided we'll try to kind of separate each other, move in directions to go for a score. But unfortunately, the score did not happen, and eventually players itself started falling apart.
Yep.
I think
Definitely,
this
they're
is
falling
something.
apart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
go
is
on.
something that teams, right as now, we've seen yesterday as well and today as well, that they have to cope upon. That towards the end, figure out whether they want a battle or not. They cannot quickly change between we want a battle, we want a score, we want something else, and eventually fall flat.
There has to be a games, I guess, game style coming in into the that final stretch time, and eventually they have to figure out what they really have to do. They have to go through that, not eventually go for those split-second decisions. Well, it can work out, but only if the opponent is kind of weak at that point and they are unable to get that whole stacking up scenario into their favor. Then you can go for a fight and also try to go for some goals as well. Meanwhile, pushing your speed sub. But there were no speed subs being utilized from both the particular teams, so that was also kind of a surprise for me. Due to that, there was not a lot of ceiling down scenarios coming in, be it the Reggie Leakies or the Rayquazas or the goals as well. But yes, due to the meltdowns of the Reggie Leaky, initially Revenant Esports was able to completely take that advantage in their favor by pushing down the Reggie Leaky, and with that they had that 6-man advantage and they were able to stack it up completely. But due to the Hoopa, things started to change in the later stages as well.
Yeah, I think Hoopa towards the later stage was the reason it kind of worked out for True Gravity, because in the initial stages, even though they had the Hoopa, Hyperspace Hole was there, Apple on that Leafeon was just jumping immediately to grab them, right? We saw multiple instances where the Hoopa was getting isolated and KO'd by none other than the speedster of Leafeon. So I think Team True Gravity kind of eventually towards the end understood that it was happening and tried to make sure that their front line, which was being placed by Blaziken, was the one who was ahead, and therefore made things a little bit better where they were unable to easily reach Vulcan and try to grab him out, and Zishal was also helping out in the meantime. So I do want to see how this progresses. As of now, even though Revenant had a great start, had things under control, and this is in general we have seen in terms of even in ranked games, right, Raider, that after you destroy the tier 1 on both top and bottom paths, you start to wonder how are you going to score in the tier 2 and tier
Exactly.
Right, because players will be having access to jump pads, so they will be able to put a stop to your scoring scenarios, or even if they're not, they're already taking the NDD which is there at the adjacents of the bottom and the top parts, where they're trying to gain the experience and match up to the level that you are in. So it is a little bit tough to score on tier 2s, and then coming to the home
Definitely.
base goal zone is even more tougher. So I think Revenant came to that stalemate position. Even though they were getting Regieliki, they were unable to push it towards the tier 2. I think Regieliki should have they should have gone for that push once they got the second Regieliki, right? They should have tried to push that to the second tier 2 on the top path. Then maybe a team fight would have happened and Revenant would have understood, okay, this is where it's not working out, and they could have switched things and also acted for a counter of a bottom tier 2 goal, which didn't seem as a strategy as of now. It's okay. It's still the first game. We have seen a lot of roster changes because of which troubles have happened, Raiders. So this was just that one game where they had to understand, okay, towards the end game is not that strong. So let's see how it goes ahead.
Well, definitely. I mean, this was just the first game of the BO3. So the legacy has to be in the favor of Team Revenant Esports if they are going to step up onto their strategies and eventually perform the way they really want to go with. But yeah, at the same point, I have to say True Gravity from the start, they were able to figure out what they have to do. Initially, they were not dumping those goals. They were trying to evolve a little bit. They were trying to like level up their Pokemons, and eventually at the end, it really paid them off. And they also figured out that with the Hoopa, they were able to like get that whole scenario of rotating a lot and eventually figuring out some different locations to play along with. But still, that Hoopa was not that productive initially. So they figured it out that the supporter has to have a kind of situation where the stacking up situation is going to help them a lot. And when the stacking up situation came from True Gravity, things started to change a lot. In the later stages, we got to see that in 6 to 8 minute marker, there were no such goals coming in from the players of Team Revenant Esports. And the only reason was because of the basic reason that the tier 1 goal zones from the bottom path and top path were already destroyed. They had to reach a little bit more into the enemy's territory, and at that point, yes, things started to trickle down. But let's talk about the MVP as well. The player of the game will be coming in pretty soon, and we'll get to see who is that guy. It's going to be Z-Sol coming in from Team True Gravity, who was able to utilize the Venusaur with 128 score and a damage of 34,882. It definitely looks amazing when it comes to the performance.
We generally don't see a Giga Drain and a Petal Dance Venusaur in these eras of Pokemon, but when I started the day off, I mentioned the metas are a little bit weird these days, and I think that's where Zishal has made this work. A Giga Drain and a Petal Dance coming through. However, did not see a lot of Unites, even though he had an energy amplifier, but you can see he is the reason towards the end that the fight worked out. He got a 2 or a 3 KO streak. As you can see, he has 3 knockouts already, along with 3 assists coming through. 128 of a score, along with 34,000 damage output that he was able to dish on the opponents. Now, I still remember Zishal when he was playing for Revenant. Now he's playing against Revenant, that he used to play that support role or a defender role, not these ranged attacker roles. So I think we've seen this happen for a lot of players here in India Open 2023, that as the rosters are shuffled, the players' playstyle of what roles they play, that has also changed.
Definitely. I mean, when you talk about these switches, yes, I do believe there have been numerous, to be honest. The players have a different play style right now. They are trying to go for a different set type of Pokemons coming in their favor, and also trying to build in a overall different type of performance coming in. So I do believe True Gravity has figured it out how they have to play. But remember, guys, we have Crowley, we have Burzum, to be precise, coming in from Team Revenant. And I do believe that guy can do wonders. I'm patiently waiting for his strategies to come into the pictures. And we'll definitely have to see how that performance goes on. Because yes, from the start, Team Revenant was able to get that control, but at 6 minute marker, things started to slip off, and that's where I believe the Hoopa and the Blaziken advantage started to come from the other team.
As of now, we are looking forward to game number 2 and to see what different it can be, right? We already mentioned about Zacian. Revenant Bandit did not give them a chance. True Gravity banned Inteleon, making sure that Crowley doesn't get a chance to do some damage with a little bit of a longer range. But let's jump into the draft of game number 2, and you can see it's a Mew ban coming in. Okay, and on the other end, they make a Zacian ban coming through. This is also a discussion that I was having. Zacian is still counterable, but people feel like there are chances if they let Zacian get its Eos energy, right? If they let it get its experience, it's still a troublesome Pokemon. Quick lock-ons coming through, as we were speculating. As you can see, Inteleon allowed, and immediately Burzum makes that lock happen. However, Vulcan and Miriam. Vulcan immediately snatches the Hoopa away, and Miriam makes sure that he keeps his Blaziken alive.
Well, yeah, I mean, pretty similar to what they were able to utilize in the previous matchup. I do feel that Hoopa and Blaziken was a very brilliant combination in the later stages. So yes, that's exactly why Team True Gravity has gone for that. And on the other corner, Buzzball will be coming in, pretty similar to what happened in the previous matchup as well. And a Slowbro this time will be there, exactly what Revenant was able to go with. The difference that I do see is going to be that Inteleon, but it is the time for a Lapras coming in from Milan. That's interesting. Definitely have to see how that Lapras is going to play that vital role, because in the previous matchup we did saw an Umbreon coming in as the defender for the team, but this time it is going to be Lapras for Team True Gravity.
We can see an Urshifu coming in from Apple. We already spoke about it. That kid is brilliant in terms of putting out damage, but not getting a chance to stack, it's going to be tough. They keep the stack still alive. As you can see, Buzzwole going to be there. The last two choices coming in here is going to be Vixion again back on the Chandelier, making it work along with Z-Shawl on the ranged attacker of a Venusaur. Preparation phase right as now. I'm looking at any more stacks coming through. Miriam still stick on the Eos cookie as well as attack weight stack coming through. Apple will have no stacks, so I feel like this is going to be the rapid strike Urshifu rather than a single strike Urshifu coming through. Goku on the other end, we saw the Blissey still going to be keeping on the Blissey. Let's see how Melon right now functions, because as you mentioned already, Umbreon to a Lapras coming through. We spoke about it yesterday as well. Lapras is still again viable, even though it has gotten its nerf with Bubble Beam. It kind of annoys you. Bubble Beam kind of denies you from making your move, puts you in the bubble and puts you stuck right as now. Let's see if that works out. However, Burzum's pick of this Inteleon might be the game changer coming in for Revenant.
Alright, let's have a look what happens next, because again this individual performance can really push Team Revenant Esports down to their lower bracket matches, or they can make their way for a, let's say, completely changed scenario or a comeback, to be honest, in the winners bracket round number 2 matchup between Team True Gravity and also Team Revenant Esports. But look at this, players are pretty much ready, the battle items are pretty much ready with them. We do see a lot of eject buttons and also XP being utilized as the battle items coming in from these individuals, but patiently waiting to see how this game is going to unfold. Revenant Esports, yes, this is the match, this is the 10-minute marker where they have to really step up. On the other corner, True Gravity is pretty much same when it comes to their meta, when it comes to their utilization of the Pokemons, and it's the only difference of a Lapras coming in. But let's see how Lapras against the Umbreon is going to take a vital role, because previously, as we did mention, that it was the Umbreon coming in as a defender, but now it's the Lapras, so maybe things will change. Even before that, once again, Team Revenant's Guild, should I say Distraction, is going to go with the first 4 goals in their favor. Revenant once again starts off with the similar fashion, where they're going to take that control from the start.
One snatch of a stack was done on the other end, and another snatch of a stack being done from the other end. Revenant and True Gravity have gotten their snatches, but also have gotten their 2 initial stacks ongoing. Or I'm not too sure, I think, oh wait, the stack did happen. That's the reason we can see the score of 9 coming through. Second stack coming in from the Buzzwall. In the meantime, a fight to get the NDD. It gets secured. Well, let's see how it progresses. As of now, I think both the ends we'd see 2 attack weight stacks coming through. Vulcan, we did see him trying to cause trouble as they were trying to get the buffs. He was unable to snatch it away. Therefore, Apple, as you can see, he does have a buff along with his teammate. Only has the red one, so he can still make the damage happen. Goes in for the Alterian Swablu. Kumbaskin comes in from the other end. It is going to be a battle, but no chaos being dealt on either end. No Pokemons get fainted.
Yeah, till now I believe the approach is looking absolutely decent from both the individuals. They're trying to level up as well, but the Hoopa is now at contest. Urshifu might be able to get it out, but eventually Hoopa was able to TP back to the base, and now it's there with the HP, which is the best part. Hoopa with the Blizzy stack is definitely... Oh, sorry, my bad. Urshifu with the Blizzy stack can definitely punch in and eventually get the best out of it, but look at this. Vulcan again putting up the pressure, but also TPing back whenever the situation demands. True Gravity is sticking to their same strategies that they were able to be fruitful with in the previous matchup, but Kumbaskin on the other corner still trying to level up and also defend the tier 1 goal zone coming in the top lane. At the same point, pretty soon, after like 50 seconds, we'll get to see the Regis also being spawned, and then the fights will change.
However, there's been better stacks coming in from Kid on the Buzzwall. That's something to watch out. In the meantime, buffs being stolen away from the players of Revenant. So a lot of stuff being done from Team Revenant. They're playing super smart. Burzum playing on Liquidation as well as Felstinger. Vulcan tried to snatch the buff, but it seems like he's going to be giving away his own Pokemon's health. There's going to be a feint coming through, therefore sent back to the base to respawn. In the meantime, Vixian wants to go super strong. Overheat coming through along with Imprison forces the player on the top path.
Once again, the Alterian Swablu's are again into the concern. We do see a lot of evolution coming in, but Buzzwole trying to get the best out of it. Hoopa again working with the charm, and we do see that hyperspace role being very active and very useful. But now it all trickles down to who is going to focus on the Regieleki and who is going to get that stack onto the bottom lane with the Regi, I guess, size maybe. I have to see what type of Regi is going to be there on the bottom lane. It's going to be a Regi Rock. And there you go. It's just Revenant Esports which is still trying to get the best out of it. But Venusaur, this will be Blaziken gets the KO on to that Regieleki with that advantage in the favor. Team True Gravity is once again looking absolutely amazing because they've got that upper hand, and the whole top tier goal zone is going to be opened up. With that, Muram is already damaged a lot, so he has to fall back, wait for the Citrus Berry or eventually get the best out of it. But Blissey along with that Urshifu definitely is doing wonders.
Secure's coming in. It is going to be the bottom Secure for True Gravity as well. They already got the top. Burzum alone couldn't stop this. He did try his best. And as you can see, it is going to be a Lapras Secure coming in on the Regirock. Their defenses is going to be boosted, and Miriam, he could have gone for a fight. And that's the reason he was so aggressive. Also managed to destroy the tier 1 of Revenant. This time Revenant a little bit in trouble. Melon, he was about to get cured. Thankfully, he reaches to his teammates. That crit hit coming in from Inteleon caused trouble. But there is also Apple on that Urshifu. Something that they have to be worried about. The Flaming Kick and the overheat coming through. But entirely gets missed. Still, the Chandelier helps. The overheat works. Unite being used to do some damage. Forces forcing the players of Revenant back, finding another KO, and then moving towards the flux zone as their intentions are clear here to destroy the goal zone. But from the back comes in Kid, uses his Unite and chases the players away, but Zshol's petal dance is still devastating, and the Blaziken finds another KO and puts the healer down. Burzum tried to initiate a fight with the liquidation, but Venusaur coming in with the Unite axis eventually gets a chance to find another KO, and Blaziken goes, finds Buzzwall as well, and True Gravity right now putting them to 10 Gs or plus and taking everybody down and getting control of the bottom path as well.
Oh yeah, there you go, another set of 40 coming in from the Venusaur. It's absolutely amazing the way these players are trying to step up. But remember guys, in the previous matchup it was Revenant Esports who was able to destroy the first and first goal zones coming in from the top lane and the bottom lane, to be honest, but this time it is going to be Team True Gravity. So obviously scoring those goals in the later part is going to be a little bit more challenging. If they have that Rayquaza advantage, they definitely will be able to do it. Even melting down that Regi is not going to be enough. They have to completely stick with it and eventually stack up on it so that they can get the best out of it. With the Petal Dance, once again things are changing, and there you go. The Rayquaza, oh sorry my bad, the Regieleki has been melted down. Koopa secures another 8, and there you go. The contestant goes on with the rings unbound. Yes, the pressure is absolutely high, but Koopa might actually get KO'd if he tries to play with that angle. But yeah, there you go. Once again, the top lane goal zone is actually in the contest, but Inteleon goes in for another ult. We do see a lot of ultimates being utilized right now.
Another tier being destroyed. Slow being used to take the Blaziken down, but it doesn't work. It gets trapped, and right as now Apple was about to get KO, tried to run away. The Buzzwall in the meantime gets one, but it's going to be a 3 KO streak. Nice run from Zshol. He finds the 4th, and big KO streak coming through. And Revenant unable to find any value anywhere, and right as now Vulcan, a little bit of an overextension. He's moved towards the buff areas, but he uses his hyperspace hole and immediately teleports back to base and then to a safe position. True Gravity with a big difference, 10 times the difference of what Revenant has, sitting at 304 to just 33 is what Revenant have had.
Oh, the first Solara is in there. The Ready skill is going to be stolen this time. We'll see. Revenant Esports might be able to get that advantage in their favor. But there you go. Blaziken gets down. Hoopa on the other corner secures 27. And with that, the tier 1, the goal zone at the bottom half is actually getting that message that the Petal Dance is still working out. Oh, Venusaur gets KO'd by Inteleon. That is interesting. The whole bottom lane goal zone looks like it is going to get destroyed pretty soon. And look at that. The Lapras, the tank is still working its way up. Along with that, the Vixen, Vixen to be precise, with the Yoshiko still trying to get the best out of it. Chandelier gets KO'd. Inteleon is actually on a spree right now. But Lapras retaliates by taking down the Uchipo on his own.
The Blaze Kick is too much for them to handle. The stun and the immediate second hit coming through from Miriam is just too good. Focus Blast want to take the Alterian Swablu. Overhit coming through. He hits a big damage, but still Burzum wants to chase. But I think Miriam might have a chance to find the KO. He does, and then Tensai finds the counter KO. But right as now, there's 2 players on his tail. Tensai finally with the Amnesia help as well as the Egg help coming through. He's able to save himself and also get the health, but in the meantime Melon gets a 37 score, and Revenant trying to find at least this one Regi. If they can push and break one of the tiers, either at the top or the bottom, they'll be more than happy. But the contest is already there. Zshol, will he be getting KO'd this time? The lock is there and the slow beam also. So right as now, before the legendary fight, we see multiple unites being used from Revenant to secure at least the top path fight, but not the Regieleki. They've all moved down towards the Rayquaza. There are 2 players who are KO'd, but before the Rayquaza spawns, they should be here. Revenant immediately going for a meltdown here, drained to half of its health, and Unite being used. Spy Vision, can they find the last hit and the secure? But no! The secure comes in from Vixion, and that steal is going to prove very fatal for the players of Revenant Esports, and they're all getting KO'd. It's only one player who survived, but it's Kid going in for 1 goal of 100. His entire team wiped.
Man, that was an interesting approach coming in. I mean, all of a sudden Chandelier comes in, steals all Rayquaza advantage in the favor, and with that, look at this scoreline. I do believe it can actually go up to a 800 scoreline, 800, 900 scoreline coming in, and there you go, 842 already in the favor. They're not going to stop. They are still going to get few more KOs, I do believe that, but on the other corner, Kid was able to secure 100, as you said, initially in the first few seconds of the final search time, but that is not enough. Koopa, once again, putting its charm in the factor. The hyperspace holds are definitely helping them a lot, but look at the contestment. The petal dance is still working out, and they're trying to farm as many as AOS and 88 as possible, and then eventually go for a few more scores. But we do see multiple KOs coming in from Blazik, and it's unstoppable. Urshifu finds Lapras. The tank has been destroyed, and with that, I do believe Venusaur is going to get one more, and that is going to be the Urshifu. Again, there is a big opening, a big chance for these guys to go ahead and secure many more goals. But still, the job is pretty much done. It is going to be True Gravity Sports, I believe, which is going to move forward to the
Oh my
in the middle
god.
packet. Look at the chaos that is happening over there.
Look at Zishal surviving in their opponent's goal zone, finds Buzzwall.
Wow.
Buzzwall, even with Superpower and Smackdown, couldn't do much.
Oh,
That
gets another
Petal
one.
Dance in Giga Drain, 3 KO streak coming in for Zishal. Activates his spy vision, but at what use? Even Unite being activated from none other than the Urshifu just gets 9 hit rate. He's going in for a lot more, but Zishal not going away. He finally gets KO'd by Burzum along with the other Blaziken getting cured, but it doesn't matter as of now. It is going to be True Gravity, and to make things even worse, Melon going in for mere couple of goals here and there by securing the AOS energy and making Revenant feel this loss to the core. True Gravity put Revenant down, and the match winners are going to be True Gravity.
Ooh, this was a scary match for Team Revenant Esports. I mean, 133, that's all they've got on the other corner. True Gravity is like basically leading the charts by 950 points in their favor, like 1088. What a score! I was not at all expecting this kind of like, let's say, carnage coming in from the place of True
Raider.
Gravity. But look at the number of
I
go on.
forgot to watch the scoreline entirely because of what was happening.
1088, buddy.
1088. Merriam with 294 score. Melon coming with 235. We saw him even at the end as well. He says like, okay, there's AOS energy lying around, I'll quickly take it, score more. Coming to Zishal, he got 267. But I think here I feel like the MVP goes both to Vulcan as well as Vixion, even though Merriam has it for now, the player of the game. But I think the usage of the hyperspace hold on point, Vixion's imprison on point, making sure the players, either Apple or Kid, whoever it was, were unable to use their movesets once they were caught in that imprison. And then the overheat damage, the Unite usage coming in from the Chandelier, big time damage that we saw. As you can see, 73,000, but Merriam goes even more bigger, 128 on the Blaziken. I think he blazed the lobby. He literally blazed all the Pokemons of Revenant.
I mean, that too actually at the very right time period, because remember at like 6-minute marker we started seeing a lot of KOs coming in from Blaziken and his Miram, and he was absolutely on point with it. And also when they were got denied by a lot of Unites being used at the like 7-minute 56 minute marker, at that point, yes, the 4 Pokemons of Team True Gravity, if I'm not wrong, were already KO'd and they were pushed back to the base. But eventually when they came back, they were able to steal the whole Rayquaza advantage, and with that, look at the number of score, man. I'm still looking at that, like 1088 points is what they're able to get on the other corner, just 133.
And
that's all Team Revenant Esports is
imagine
able to get, man. Yep.
what the 100 that you can see from 33 to 133 is just the Kid who managed to score 100 at the end.
Buzzwall.
Right, Buzzwall, who went to the tier 1 of the top path, and that's when they destroyed the first goal zone. You can see in the graph as well, towards the 8.5 minute mark is when you can see the tier 1 of True Gravity being destroyed. Otherwise, True Gravity had almost destroyed everything on the side of Revenant. And look at the scores. Only 3 stacks is what we saw coming in from Buzzwall, which was good for the initial battle, but I think Urshifu not finding value, Buzzwall couldn't do much. Then we move towards this side, right, True Gravity. You can see already 4 stacks coming through, and that worked out better towards the end, countering the 3 stack. Merriam had to be the player of the game. You saw it even in the standings as well, in the match stats. And here there's no denying, especially the damage output coming on Blaziken. And I've heard from a lot of people, Blaziken, even though it was put into the fray, right, had not been a super viable or a super helpful or a super synergetic Pokemon for the team to win. But Merriam proved a point here.
Oh, I definitely hated that he can dish out the damage, he can take a lot, and as well, along with that, he can score a lot. But I was like basically watching at that drop that came just like a minute ago, where from Team Revenant Esports, the Buzzwall, name as Kid, was able to get 116 points, 116 or 17 points from his favor. 100 was the final stretch time goal that he was able to go for the tier 1 in the top lane. Another 16 was basically when he had that advantage in the first like first stretch of like 2 minutes, basically
Yeah.
when the game got started. Then he was able to get those points in his favor. But other than that, I believe just 16 or 17 more goals came in from the other individuals who were playing from Team Revenant Esports. I don't know what is
Yes.
happening to Team Revenant Esports, but yes, this was a very big downfall for them, to be honest, because Revenant, if you remember if you remember the stats about the Pokemon Unite India Open 2022, Revenant was one of those teams which was having a huge buffer onto their opponents. Like they had a very good lead in their favor, but now that lead is not even there. I mean, they are crumbling down the way we were not even expecting it. But that's why I do say that the masters have evolved, and so does the gameplay has to.
As of now, it feels like Revenant are not synergetic, especially with the new lineup that they've bought in. Individually, you could see, right? The early game is good from them, and I think this is something that we have seen always for people who've been watching Revenant as a roster, right? Their end fights, the final stretch fights, do not work great. They've been having a love-hate relationship with the final stretch battles, with the Rayquaza battles, and it's still seeming on to carry forward to the same thing. As you could see right here as well, they did try to do the same thing. As soon as they found the initial chaos towards the top path where they had used their Unite slow beams coming through, even the Buzzwall used its Unite. I think the Spy Vision also came out. After using 3 Unites over there to find chaos on the players of True Gravity, they immediately jumped to the Legendary Pit, tried to take down Rayquaza. As soon as Rayquaza spawned, it had drained half of its health, right? But what happened was the other players had again respawned, and
Yeah.
that is where it gave an advantage, especially with Vixion getting in that hit. Because I think if we go for that slow replay, right, you would see that already the liquidation was started coming in from Burzum.
Mm-hmm.
Vixion was
Mm-hmm.
waiting for that last nth moment where Rayquaza's health was very low, immediately used its overheat, and that last hit secure came through, and there was nothing that Burzum could do, even though his liquidation was ongoing. And that's what happens. I think ranged attackers are very crucial for secures. Certain times you've seen even supporters going in. We saw a Blissey egg bomb secure on the Reggie at the
Yeah.
bottom, but these are very I would say unpredictable instances. But predictable instances are those secures coming in from ranged attackers. But if your ranged attackers are the one involved in draining Rayquaza's health, then secure becomes a little bit difficult, which
True.
advantage was taken from True Gravity.
I mean, when True Gravity got KO'd, I mean, the only reason why they got KO'd in the top lane was basically all the units coming in from the players of Team Revenant. They
Exactly.
should have actually farmed on it and eventually wait for the right period so that they could have the advantage of the Rayquaza, because that was the only scenario where they could have easily maintained that score, or maybe got a lead onto the players of Team True Gravity, because True Gravity was already sitting with a score of somewhere 381 points in their favor initially, even before the final stretch time came period. So that was very interesting, to be honest, but at the end it all trickled down. But guys, this was the first match. There are 2 more matches to go with. All those are going to be a BO3s. We will get to see a lot of action, but after a quick short break.
We will jump to a break, Raider.
Okay.
But before that, I want to know from your end, which was the highlight
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon in this first game coming through. For me, if you
Blaziken.
would ask it, oh, okay. Before even I could say something, yeah, Blaziken, hands down, I agree with you. I think Blaziken was a Pokemon that maybe I thought wouldn't be able to do a lot, because yesterday we also saw Blaziken. It kind of had a little bit of a iffy instance, right? Griffin picked it up. Griffin initially had a good game, then had a game which did not work out. They again switched the Pokemon
True.
roles, and eventually it worked out. But for me, the pick is going to be on Venusaur coming through, especially playing a Giga Drain as well as a Petal Dance. This was again seen from Luminosity's end once, and a lot of us had questions. Where is that Beamosaur coming through? Why did they go for a Petal Dance other than the Solar Beam? And players, when they kind of show us that with the move sets that are there, Pokemons are always viable. You just need to know how to play and synergize with your teammates. I think that's what
True.
was being done better here from Zishal. Right, as now we've spoken about our Pokemons which we liked in terms of the first game. We'll see which we like towards the next other 2 games, but all after a short break.
All right, after a quick short break, yes, we are finally back once again at the desk with the Pokemon Unite India Open 2023 action already being resumed. After the first match, we did saw a lot of ups and downs in that particular matches, but yes, it is going to be Team True Gravity who has made their way back in the winners bracket round number 3. Well, with that, my name is Jalen. Along with me, we do have Necros on the desk for this particular matchup. Necros, what are you expecting in this match?
I mean, just after seeing the three matches yesterday and also the starting one of today, it seemed to me
Mm-hmm.
that we will be seeing a 2-1 score, but we'll have to see if we
Okay.
are going to see it today in the second match or the third match. But still, expectations for me to say it's quite high. I mean, we see all the best of the best teams in India competing for that one title. There are some previous players, like if you talk about True Gravity, we saw a lot of players who have played for Revenant in the past as well, like Crystal and all.
Mm-hmm.
But now they are playing, they have made a new team, and the way they are, showcasing their skills in front of the newly formed Revenant Esports, it seems that the OGs are actually still in the form and they're actually teaching a lot of lessons to the new upcoming players.
Well, currently, if you talk about Team True Gravity, initially in the first matchup of the BO3, yes, True Gravity was there with a buffer of somewhere around 130 points, 150 points in their favor, and they were able to be victorious with the Hoopa and the Blaziken combination, which they were able to utilize at its peak. But eventually, if you talk about the second match, the competition was way too high coming in from Team True Gravity, and there was a scoreline of 1088 from Team True
Hmm.
Gravity, and Revenant was stuck with just 133 points. So that was kind of disheartening when you talk about a team like Revenant. But as you said, yes, the changes have definitely changed a lot of things, and even the choices of Crowley, Burzum going for the Inteleon didn't even work out a lot in the second match. And also, if we talk about the first match, it was Zishol which was able to do the heavy lifting for the players of Team True Gravity. On the other corner, from the particular perspective of Team Revenant, Mew was there as Crowley was able to utilize it, Burzum was able to utilize it, which is the new name of our team, Revenant Esports is Crowley. But still, I have to say that the in the next match, when the ban for Mew came in from the place of Team True Gravity, things started to trickle down. Then Revenant Crowley has to go for a different thing, and he decided to go for an Inteleon, which was kind of not that fruitful, to be honest, because throughout the way
Hmm.
he was unable to get any KOs, and also if you talk about the goals, it was not that much from his perspective.
I mean, also in the if you talk about the way True Gravity handled and dominated in the second match, I was
Mm-hmm.
seeing that kind of number of assists that they had, number of KOs that they had. It seemed to me that the Revenant we knew in the previous India Open, or if you talk about the previous worlds that we see in a WCS or in the ACL, it's not that. Definitely the roster has changed it, but that legacy that we saw coming up from SATL or maybe Team Griffin,
Yeah.
it's still not there for Revenant. Yes, they have qualified with the new roster. Yes, it will take a little bit of more time for the lineup to gel up with each other, to synergize as well as to make themselves comfortable with each other's play. But in this kind of stages like India Open, you don't have a lot of chances to make mistakes. I mean, you have already been pushed down to the lower brackets. That means that if
Yeah.
you lose one more match, if you lose one
It's
more
done.
BO3 series, it's done and you will be out of the competition. We'll have a look on the brackets again and we'll give you that information of which team will be facing which team in the upcoming matches as we just speak, because Revenant, they were pushed down to the lower brackets, but now it seems that Team Griffin will be facing True Gravity in the winner brackets round 3. Alongside, we will be seeing FS Esports take on Force Your Legacy. Force Your Legacy.
Well, this will be very interesting battle coming in between Team Griffin and True Gravity, because if you talk about Team Griffin from the start, they have been the dominant force, to be honest. 2-0 and then a 2-1 onto the players of Team SATL Esports. Team Griffin definitely was able to put a big marker, but right now, if you talk about Team True Gravity, after dissing out that kind of damage onto Team Revenant Esports and maintaining a lead of 950 points between them and Revenant Esports, that really shows even True Gravity is ready with their own strats. And for that reason, I do believe this match is going to be a well-fought, contested match till the end. We might actually see a 2-1 coming in from one particular team. But yes, absolutely amazing competition is what I'm looking at. There you go. SATL was Esports versus Learn from Fast is what we are going to witness. This is the, if I'm not wrong, lower bracket match number 1, which we are going to witness. Lower bracket round number 1, match number 1. SATL Esports versus Learn from Past. We have All Might, Badsha, Rex, Kurum, and Curse coming in. Pretty much similar lineup to what we witnessed initially from Team SATL Esports. But yesterday the performance was not on peak, but today it has to be on peak if Team SATL Esports really want to continue their journey in the lower bracket round number 2.
Exactly. A lot of question marks for both the teams, because if you just talk about, they need a win. I mean, they cannot just walk away like it's okay, we've lost it, we will have another chance. No, it's not. It's because it's the lower brackets that is in the question. So if you lose, as we mentioned earlier, you will be eliminated from this India Open. And if you talk about previously, yes, learn from the past. Learn from past. This lineup, they have players like Kyle, Kamil, Prod, and Lim we can see. But SC2L, the performance we expect from them, because they were the one to go to the WCS World Championship and represent our country, India, in the global
Yeah.
stage. They had also tried to perform a lot in those big against those big teams, like especially like Luminosity and others. They face a lot of challenges, but now when it comes to the regional circuit, we have seen them dominating this very roster. It has dominated in the previous time, in the previous upcoming previous tournaments that happened, like WCS or in the ACL. So this time it's India Open once again. They are pushed down to low. A lot of matches to win to manage themselves go into the grand finals, but we'll see if they can manage it up or not.
Well, with that, the ban phase will be coming in. Inteleon and Zacian ban pretty much adamant on the fact that they have chosen which particular Pokemon has to be banned. Inteleon is there from the place of learn from past, and eventually a Zacian ban will be coming in from the individuals of Skyesports. But now it all trickles down to what the big phase is going to give us. We have a Mew by Calmon coming in and an Umbreon along with possibly a supporter coming in from All Might's perspective. Let's see what kind of approach is going to be there for All Might, because yesterday we definitely wanted to see a lot of interesting approaches. But All Might might actually stick to his Blastoise, to be honest, in the later stages. He's just picking up the Slowbro for now. A true defender approach. Interesting for Team SCU.
Not to go for the Blastoise can be some different move that maybe learn from past might not be expecting, but yes, giving a chance for them. Vanquisher did not hesitate, picks up the Blastoise for himself. We also see the new held item coming into play for Vanquisher. I would love to see how he's going to use that Curse and Sense for himself, while we see that Urshifu pick coming up from Kamil. So Urshifu, it did not work out very well in the previous day as we saw earlier yesterday, but I really want to see an Urshifu coming and finding a lot of value for his team.
Well, definitely that value has to be there. On the other corner, Kirim goes in for a Clefable, and along with that, Curse is going to stick with a Glaceon. A Lapras and a Hoopa might be coming in, but still, again, I have to say that Hoopa has been the game changer from start of this Pokemon Unite India Open 2023, because every single team which was able to utilize Hoopa with its peak performance and eventually was able to get the right idea out of it, be it the Hyperspace Holes or the Rings and Bound, they have definitely dished out a lot of damage and also changed the whole game. So I do believe Learn from Past is ready to fight back. On the other corner, Alone and Ninetales will be coming in from Badshah. Pretty interesting approach, because we have yet to see what Ninetales is going to do.
Picking up 90. Avalanche and Blizzard has been nerfed very drastically. It has made a lot of differences, and we usually don't see people playing or picking up Ninetales stat 2 in a compy match. So for me, it's a surprise, but as I also love to play 90s, I would really want to see what Badshah has, because Badshah is one of the most decorated long-range attacker players, because on Mew he has been very flawless in the previous time. He plays a very vital role whenever it comes to a long-range attacker, and playing on Ninetales, I really believe that he can gel up with the teammates, and that too when you have Glaceon as well to provide the support to Rex and All Might being on the front line. I really want to see how this Ninetales will work out for SC2L.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, choosing that particular Pokemon which has not been utilized for a long period of time, and due to the nerfs and buffs coming in, yes, things have changed a lot. So I'm definitely looking forward to see how Badshah is going to be that pinnacle of a guy coming in from SC2L Esports. On the other corner, denying a Blastoise for All Might was also a very interesting approach coming in. And obviously now All Might is still going to stick with the top lane control, if I'm not wrong, because he's a beast in it, but eventually he was a beast with that utilization of a Pokemon known as Blastoise. But this time it has been denied, so definitely have to see what is going to be the approach. Learn from past on the other corner is also trying to get the best out of it, and for now farming is going to be very important. That leveling up scenario is going to be very important with the Kung Fu, trying to get the advantage in the mid lanes, and then we'll get to see a lot of interesting paths. But if we talk about the top lane contestment, we have a defender, Slowbro, going for some goals, and even the Squirtle is going to do the same.
The stacking are very important, and specifically if you talk about Vanquish and all, if they level up a little bit faster for them, it can find a lot of value. Even we see that Glaceon was given a chance to go for those jungle in those mid lane, and also we saw Kung Fu, who still not evolved to Urshifu, might find a value, but gives a very drastic damage to Clefable, but finally manages to get the KO as well. Well, Squirtle cannot be stopped. All Might is trying his level best, but always Hoopa is there to provide the support. And Prod on Hoopa is one of the most deadliest thing that, at least as an opponent, I would not expect him to play.
Well, let's see what happens. Then from pass from the start, they are trying to get a good score in their favor. Pretty soon, yes, at 7 minute marker, we'll get to see a lot of Reggie fights coming in. But even before that, the Algerian Swap Blues are actually at the contest, and there you go, the advantage goes in the favor of team learn from pass. The icicle spheres are going to be there, and it will obviously push down the players. But look at this, Hoopa again changing the whole game. But eventually, even before that, it is going to be a Squirtle getting a KO, which was not at all expected at that point, but obviously due to that KO, things have started to change a bit. And in the mid lanes, we'll again get to see a lot of contestation between the Urshifu and the other Pokemon like Umbreon coming in, the Glaceon over there, and also with the Cliffable approach. This will be very interesting. But Urshifu with the Hoopa combination, with that start, maybe they're going to get the best out of it. But there you go, Mew with the Solar Beam, I do believe, was able to find another one, and eventually one more KO coming in. Yes, the players of Team SATU Esports are once again getting melting down. Lapras goes in to secure another 11 goals.
a, I would say a complete successful invasion from the side of Learn from Past. They found a lot of value in waiting for the SAQL, but All Might, given that opportunity on the top lane, instantly gets a 27 score for his team. He knows those continuous scoring will help a lot to build the experience EXP up for SAQL players. All the other players will be also getting a little bit of help, but the mid lane contention from both the teams is looking pretty dominant from the side of Learn from Past. With that Urshifu getting shelled up with the Mew, again getting a lot of support from the backends is always helping that. But Mean Look will be there to trap Lapras for some time. But SATUL, they have to find a lot of value with there's not a big difference if you just talk about the scores, but in terms of leveling up, Urshifu is on level 8, which can be a little bit troubling for SATL. But we can see a complete 4-stack push on the bottom lane. Yes, the Mean Look might be working a lot, but that Blizzard and Avalanche will be pushing down the a little bit back and will buy a lot of
Yeah.
time for SATL to make a fallback.
Well, indeed, SATU Esports is going to make a move a little bit on the backward road, but right now, look at that. The hyperspace holes are again going to give their team learn from past an advantage to just completely change the momentum in the round areas. But there you go, in the bottom lane, we do see a KO coming in, and that's Upa, who is out of the equation. Also, the Unites are being dumped over there, and if you talk about the stole of the Regi Steel, it is going to be in the favor of team learn from past, and now they're trying to once again tackle and get some good KOs. But let's see. Oh, the Mew goes in with the Solar Beam and eventually was able to get a lot of damage in a favor. But is it enough to completely put down the players coming in from SATU Esports? That's the major question is all about. But there you go. Glaceon already on the verge of getting KO'd, but eventually will be able to escape and get the Citrus Berry so that they can actually be back with the right amount of HP so that they can fight back in the scene. Again, another Solar Beam. A lot of Solar Beams are being utilized by that individual. Calmon, if I'm not wrong, is the name. But yes, he's still being effective. And there you go. Once again, we might see some Solar Beams coming in. And there you go. Steals the Algerian Swap Blue once again.
Kyle is actually playing a very crucial role. We see on the top lane, even Cliffable is probably the one trying to hold back Wartortle at this moment. Glacian steps in, trying to find out some value. He gives a lot of damage. Instantly, we see that Avalanche Blizzard coming up with this. The KO arrives in the favor of SATUL. The top lane, Rezuliki, will be very, very much needed for them. Because Learn from Past, they have capitalized in the bottom lane, Reggie, but the Unite being committed by Mew. The Mystical Mirage comes into the play, but the Solar Beam instantly gives a lot of damage. But that to Reggie Licky is giving that kind of damage, which will be troubling SATUL a lot. They might be going for the last minute steal because Mew, he has got the Solar Beam waiting for the right moment to strike in, and there it goes, but it cannot make that value. SATUL's Bacha gets the final steal for himself, and SCTU manages to get this Regiliki while the Unite being committed. Urshifu has not been allowed a lot. A lot of Unites being committed right at this point. Umbreon as well as Glaceon commits 2 Unites at the very same time, trying to start, tap out Mew at this point, and instantly gets the KO, and SCTU decides to make a fallback.
Well, look at that. The hero spin is still going to come in, and there you go. The Unites are being utilized, but eventually the players are going to TP back. And Lapras, again, the tank is not being that useful for now because he's getting suppressed a lot. But now look at this. The Glaceon and Umbreon combination is definitely working out. Once again, Hoopa will be able to help them out so that they can be ready with the right amount of HP and fight back. Learn from Past definitely was able to build a very good lead initially, but now it is SCT Esports who has got that lead of 20 good points in the favor. But still, that lead might not be consistent enough because in the lower areas, if you talk about the bottom lane, once again, the contestment will be there. The Solar Meme goes in. Rex again gets damaged a lot. Is going to take a huge chunk of HP from even the Blissey as well, but still Cliffable, sorry, my bad. But still not enough to completely put the players down. Essentially, Esports still they have got that advantage, they've got that upper hand, but now a complete sack will be coming in onto the top lane with the seal of that Algerian Swap Blues. Yes, things are changing, but there you go. The KO comes in on Slowbro by the Blastoise, and not just that, we will get to see a lot of goals being dumped, and also the tier 1 goal zone has already been destroyed onto the top lane.
Oh, this is a lot of thing. Hoopa is committed with that Unite
Again.
instantly. We can see even Ninetales coming up with those new knights, you dumping it right over to stop the push coming up from Learn from Pass, because the top lane has been breached already. But it seems Umbreon being completely slowed down by the players of Learn from Pass. But now they want this Regidog very desperately. There is a bit of chance that Blastoise will be committing this Unite, but cannot find the value, as it's Glaceon who gets it for SA2L. But Urshifu, if he manages to escape, it can be a big blunder coming up from SA2L. But now the stack push coming up from their side might trouble Learn from Pass, because they're trying their level best to defend this bottom goal zone for themselves, because it has not considered a single goal from the side of SA2L. But once again, Lapras is there, Hoopa is there, but will it be enough to stop it? It doesn't seem like, because there's just 12 more goals that is needed for SA2L to break it, and they will be going out with the overdunk of at least 40 score, make it to 231 for SA2L.
That was a 50 goal coming in from Team SA2L Esports, and with that, look at the lead now SA2L has got. They really don't want to go out of the equation right now, and eventually, if I talk about Team Learn from past years, they have to really consider the fact that the Rayquaza, the legendary boss, is going to come pretty soon, and they have to melt it down so that they can have the advantage. On the hindsight, SA2L Esports is trying to now farm a lot when it comes to their Unite moves. 3 Unites move have been utilized from both the particular teams. Actually, SA2L is done and dusted with 4 Unites, so they are currently waiting for their next chance to actually get those Unites and replenished, and then they can fight back in the scene. If you talk about the Cliffable, trying to get the best out of that equation, he has got 40 good AOS energies. He can go for the gold dunk, but in the bottom lane, again, the contestment will be coming in. There goes the Hoopa, there goes the other individual Lapras, but Lapras and Hoopa are once again going to utilize their own skill set moves and eventually fall back a bit. But now the melting down scenario is going to work out, and that's a steal from a Slowbro. Interesting, was not even expecting that.
Exactly, All Might hopped in the last moment, and almost when it was like Blastoise will definitely secure this Regiliki, it was Slowbro who did the job. And the Regiliki, if they went for any score, it could have been very, very much worthwhile. But now they decide, Learn from Past, they want to melt down this Rayquaza no matter what it takes, while SATL will try to defend and get the counters in the right moment. A lot of Solar Beam damage is coming. All Might has already committed with his Unite, which it seems like it can be troubling. A lot of Unites being committed. Hoopa comes up with the Rings Unbound. Damage that's being done by Mew as well. They need to shut off the long range attackers, but it seems the Unite being committed from Mew will find a lot of value, while still SATL, they're fighting back.
Oh, they are putting a hard competition over there right now. Pretty soon, I believe Lapras can be KO'd. There's a big possibility that Lapras might actually getting KO'd because he does not have the HP, and due to that, look at this, Learn from Past had to fall back a bit, but now Blastoise is once again trying to enter the side. The defender Rex is going to move forward. Solar Beam also comes in. The Hydro Spin is maybe going to help them a lot, but I really have to see how that play is going to work out. The defenders are backing out, and eventually the damage on Rayquaza is also coming in. Pretty soon the stack might be there on Rayquaza on the legendary boss one, but yes, there is no such sneaky goals to be precise coming in from both the individual teams. Team Learn from Past can actually go for a sneaky one onto the first goal zone in the bottom lane. They can really go for it, but for now they have decided that they're going to contest this mid lane, and they are unable to get the best out of it. A lot of Unites once again getting dumped out. Look at that, the Solar Beams are coming in, Hydro Spins are coming in. Oh, this will be interesting to watch. Let's see who gets the KOs. It's going to be Ninetale who gets Hoopa. With that, the keeping back scenario is not going to even work out for a brief moment for these individuals. Rex again, being the tanker, is trying to get the best out of it, and there you go, SATL. It's Glaceon who gets the best out of it, and with that, now it is going to be Team SATL Esports who is for sure going to win it, because they've got the shields, they've got that advantage, and they've got plenty of 50 good goals. I mean, there's going to be at least 500 goals being dumped right over here from Team SATL Esports' perspective.
Oh, what a play, and specifically the way they defended the Rayquaza, not allowing Learn from Past to even enter the legendary pit. You can just see they invaded, they pushed them to their own jungles, also pushed them to that extent that they had to commit with all those Unites. Even Blastoise, who was keeping his Unite alive with himself, keeping it to just go for the last minute steal if it was possible, last minute secure from his side, was almost pushed to his limits that you have to go for the Unite. There is no other chance. Vanquisher, he did try a lot, but what a game. All Might with those 8 assists. He came cursed also, put up a lot of efforts with that Glaceon, but altogether the way SA2L, they have put up the first match, it was a competitive one that we have to also give credits to Learn from Past, because of all their efforts that they have put in this match. They have pushed SA2L to a good extent, as we literally saw a few minutes back. But SA2L, the way they had the entire control in the final stretch fight, it was amazing.
I really want to ask you, Nikros, at this point, like Badsha, we were like trying to get an idea of what he's going to do with the Ninetales, but look at him.
Yeah.
He got plenty of KOs, he got plenty of goals as well, and he's the MVP. definitely a well played scenario coming in from Basha utilizing that Ninetales.
I mean, I just mentioned it. He's one of the best all-round, like I would say, long-range attackers that
Mm-hmm.
ever exist in Indian circuit as of now. But proving me wrong, I'm pretty happy because a guy comes up with a nine tails and puts up a lot of value in spite of the nerves that happened for that Pokemon. Now it seems that yes, they can do much more unorthodox things that we might not expect from them. But Badsha, 99,396 total of damage that he have dealt against the opponents. That was pretty amazing. And also, whenever the time it was needed, he committed the unite in the very perfect moment where it was supposed to be. Not early, not later. At the right moment, he used the right moves, and that founded him a lot of value.
Definitely, I mean, even if you talk about Kuram as well, like being the supporter of the team, look at the recovery that he was able to give. 1,32,985, pretty close to 1,33,000 to be honest. That's absolutely huge. On the other corner, Prod coming in from Learn from Past, utilizing that Hoopa, he was also phenomenal, no doubt in that. But eventually, their attackers were not that adequate, were not that aggressive to be honest. At that point, they were unable to get a lot of outputs to be precise. So that is something which scared me a lot. Even if you talk about Mew, those solar beams were definitely coming in, but in order to completely have that advantage and get some good KOs, there was not a very good combination of that solar beam and also some other abilities coming in from the other Pokemon who are pretty close to it. If you talk about Urshifu, he was already there with the Hoopa combination. The stack was working out for those particular individual players, but still they were unable to get the best out of it. They were trying to evolve, they were trying to like push back the players from Team SATL Esports, but they were not able to get those KOs. And that is the vital part where Team SATL Esports was able to win it. And due to that pressure being formed, also in the Legendary Pit, we did saw there was not even a single moment where Team Learn from Past was able to get the control for the Legendary Pit. It was all around SATL Esports who was able to get it. Blastoise made its way, but still at the end, Vanquisher was unable to get the best out of it.
The way I just mentioned earlier, the SCTL saved their unites for the final moment. They knew that yes, there will be a time when Learn from Past will be overextending themselves, trying to secure the Rayquaza in order to win it. Because without Rayquaza, for them to win, it was completely, I would say, impossible because they had a score difference. If I were from Learn from Past, if I was Urshifu at that point, yes, my team was fighting in a team fight. It is needed that you need to step in as an all-rounder. But when you had a chance to go for a sneaky score to pressurize SCTL, that could have been
True.
a good move on the top lane because
Exactly.
Urshifu did have an opportunity to go and get that score done, but he decided to play with the team. That was a good call, I would say. But still, if if it were to put up a little pressure for SCTL side, that could have been that one move to make the difference. But once again, when it came down to the team game, SCTL definitely played a better game and pressurized, as we mentioned earlier. Learn from Past were unable to do anything, almost
Yep.
targeting the crucial players. Firstly, getting the main supporter Hoopa down was, I would say, a big opportunity they created for themselves, a big golden value that they created, because when there is no Hoopa, there is no hyperspace
Mm-hmm.
hole, and you cannot go
Yeah.
back to your spawn and get yourselves completely patched up and come back again in the battlefield.
I mean, it was very surprising for me that even when the particular team known as Team Learn from Past had that Hoopa in their favor, they were still unable to get that recovery and eventually perform the way the other usual teams who had those Hoopas were able to do. Like basically, if you talk about the starting scenarios, it was Team to Gravity to be precise in the initial match where the Hoopa advantage was there for them. FSE Esports was there utilizing that Hoopa advantage. Team Griffin was able to get the best out of it, but this time it was Team Learn from Past was able to completely snatch it away from the players of Team Israel, but still it didn't work out in their favor because the stack was coming in from SATL Esports, which was the best part for me, to be honest, in those 10 minutes of the game. The stack that was coming in from SATL Esports was to help them to completely push out the opponent to the backward lanes, and that's exactly why I do believe Team Learn from Past was unable to get their stronghold in the whole scenario. Well, if you talk about the contest of Legendary Pit, again, a similar storyline where all the individuals are pretty much focused not onto the Rayquaza but onto the melting down scenario for the opponent's Pokemon, and that's exactly where they got successfully a lot of chaos. And eventually, it was Urshifu which was trying to just get away from that scenario, and also the Lapras was there, which was contesting in the top lane along with that Umbreon. So both the defenders was having their own contestment coming in. Blastoise was there, which was able to come in with the Hydro Spin also in the later stages, but still at the end, it was a complete seal coming in from the players of Team SATL Esports. From the start, they decided to dominate, and at the end, yes, again, they were able to get the Rayquaza in their favor, which actually assured their victory, and that too with a massive lead. I mean, they were able to secure 765 points. So somewhere around a lead of 580 points is there in the favor against the players of Team Learn from Past. Pass, which is absolutely amazing. But now it all trickles down to the question that what will happen in the next match. Is it going to be a match where Team SLE Esports is once again going to stick with the ban of Zacian and an intelligent ban coming in from the other individual of Learn from Pass? Because all those things really matter. Which particular Pokemon you are going to ban? Because if that ban is not going to be adequate, things might change rapidly.
Yeah, definitely. The ban and the draft phase always plays one of the major factors that a team can decide, or if the fate of any team in any single match. But once again, if you just talk about the kind of composition that they made, going for the double defender from both the sides, yes, the Lapras. I wouldn't say it got the value that it wanted, because we saw Lapras play in the previous day as well. It was much more better from the other teams when it came with those unites and those moves, trying to tank up the damage for the team. That was the way they played the Lapras in their team. Also, we saw Blaziken coming into play, tanking the damage for himself. Even Sam, like if you talk about Sam and I, we both were a little stunned at how come Blaziken is tanking so much damage in spite of being one of the most hefty attackers who actually can land a good blow. For Blaziken, for him, it's like he's the one to go and take the fights and give damage to the opposition.
Yep.
In spite of that, we saw different tactics coming from different teams that are tanking damages for themselves. But once again, the second match, the second round in this BO3 series is waiting us for us. But now the draft phase that is going to come will play a major factor. As you mentioned earlier, we might be seeing some pretty changes, as it seems there will be an Umbreon and a Zacian match.
Well, this will be interesting to watch. And Embryon being banned from Team SATL Esports' perspective, because if you talk about the other team, yes, they were able to utilize it initially, but Embryon was, if I'm not wrong, was in the favor of Team SATL Esports even in the first match. But with that voting being done, the ban phase is pretty much completed. We do see a Zacian ban coming in from the place of Learn from Past, which I feel is kind of very, very important. But at the same point, All Might is now ready with his choice. He might actually stick to his Blastoise or a Slowbro. Let's see what particular Pokemon he's going to go for. And apart from that, yes, if Blastoise gets away, we will get to see a complete shift of momentum. But this time is the OG Hoopa, is the Pokemon which is getting the best out of it from the start of the Pokemon Unite India Open 2023, to be honest. So the way Hoopa has played and eventually completely shifted the momentum was something absolutely amazing to watch. So again, as it will with the Hoopa, things might change rapidly. But there you go, the Mew now goes in the favor of Team LFP once again.
Well, if he doesn't want to give it away, but I guess All Might heard you at that moment that maybe the casters are thinking that I'm going to go with the Blastoise or a Slowbro. Let's just confuse them a lot more and go with the Hoopa. Yeah, it was a better decision maybe, but if you talk about the defenders, we see Rex coming over with a Trevenant. After a very long time, I'm seeing him coming with a Trevenant, while Bacha will have the privilege this time to go with that Inteleon, and I'm really excited to see. Is he going to go play with the Snipe Shot, or is he going to stick with that Fell Stinger and Liquidation combination of movesets with him? But Calmon this time, he has picked up the Buzzwole, and Prod has got that opportunity. If not Hoopa, I'm going to go with the Clippable, who has got a big effect for healing, for being one of the most crucial supporters. Well, SATUL finally, All Might have picked the Blastoise. He has heard you, Raider, and Cursed went with that Gardevoir.
Well, we will get to see a lot of interesting fight coming in from SATL Esports, because we do have a Gardevoir which is going to completely rule the top lane. That's what I believe. Initially, yes, there is going to be a lot of interesting stacking up scenario coming in between Kalmon and Prod, because they have the Buzzwole and Cliffable stack coming in. Also in the first match, True Gravity was able to get the best out of it, and their opponent's Revenant was also trying to utilize the same combination. So I'm looking forward to see if that is going to be very valuable for them or not. But we do see a Glaceon coming in, a double attacker approach from both the individuals, and along with that, we are missing an all-rounder coming in from the players of Team SATL Esports. But I believe that whole missing down of the all-rounder approach is going to get fulfilled by Trevenant, because he's a heavy hitter. We all know that.
Yeah, I mean, if he comes up with those boings with his wooden hammer, it won't be good for the team, for any other team in the opposition. But if he misses, as what we saw in the previous day, there was a match where the Trevenant, I don't actually recall that exact team name or the team player, but the way he was missing those wooden hammer and his unite, it was a complete disaster for a team. But yeah, if you talk about Rex, he has been playing this Trevenant for a long time. That's why he's having the green badge. And for him, missing those wooden hammers or maybe those horn leech or something like that, I really don't expect from him, because he's very experienced in playing Trevenant, and if he just does it right, I believe LFP might be in some little bit of trouble because those stuns will affect a lot for them.
Hey, definitely, I do believe that kind of pressure is going to be absolutely enormous on the players of Team LFP. But apart from that, when you talk about the individuals coming in from the players of Team Skyesports, once again the approach is pretty much similar. They are trying to stick with the top lane entry, and eventually in the bottom lane we do see some other Pokemons also trying to go ahead and get the best out of it. And if I talk about the stacking up scenario, it is going to be a clippable, and along with that we'll get to see that Buzzwall hiding in the bushes. But now Squirtle is getting damaged, so obviously he's getting oppressed, but the Esports really want to go for that dumping down of those 2 goals. But I have to see if that is going to be a successful scenario or not. But indeed, yes, we get to see those 2 goals coming in. Along with that, a Hoopa is getting the contest over there, along with that I believe Squirtle is also going to come. So there you go. Stacking up scenario works out between Squirtle and Hoopa for now. But still, Buzzwall might be getting KO'd pretty soon. But no, it will be Glacier also coming in as the X Factor. So yes, the players from Esports have to back out. Otherwise, there is going to be a very early KO coming in.
That was pretty close. I really thought that Glacian could actually find the value of All Might on the top. While we see also Gardevoir joining the party, trying to support. Curse hops in with his Side Shock. He was waiting for it to come up very fast, and the Side Shock always, finds a lot of value in the early game if you can use it in the right moment, especially this Alterian Swablu. This is going to be very important. A lot of damage being done to Blast, at this point, the Buzzwole, but Gardevoir becomes the prey for Vanquisher at this time. An instant trade has been taken up by All Might with that beautiful KO coming up from his side. He also evolves to Wartortle and instantly backs out. He knows that how important is it for him to survive in the long run, but also Badshah needs to take care that he needs to develop as fast as possible. He's using the Fell Stinger, but I will be waiting whether he's going with the Snipe Shot or Liquidation.
Yeah, definitely it really matters what kind of combination you are going to go with that particular ability. But for now, if you talk about the dumping of goals, it is going to be learned from Pass, who has started to dish out some serious scores. And at the same point, I have to say that even Team Esports is not going to lag behind. There you go. The Trevenant is going to dump a serious 44 goals coming in, 42 goals if I'm not wrong. That's a huge score coming in from Team Esports, and now the whole lead completely shifts between the players of Esports. So it looks good, but we will get to see a lot of stacking up scenario coming in once again. There goes the Slowbro, getting a lot of damage, but with that Trevenant is also getting surfaced with a lot of damage as well. Oh, the Boinks are coming in, but Glacier will be able to find Hoopa. Was not at all expecting that, but yes, with that KO, things are now trickling down for Team Esports because they were trying to level it, but meanwhile that KO is definitely going to stop all of that. Again, some Boinks. Oh, interesting. Alim definitely gets surprised with that.
Finally, the Snipe Shot coming into play from the side of Inteleon, and I was really waiting. I knew that Badshah will be going with that Snipe Shot and kind of a lot of damage it can give you if he's in a long range and if it connects properly. So you have to be very aware, and for the secures it can play a major factor. But Buzzwole, he just barely survives by that psychic damage. But instantly, if you just talk about the scores are coming up from the side of SCQL, and All Might is pushing Cliffable to its limits as 3 of them are just stacking for the scores, while he has got still 14 more scores to come up. And yes, Cliffable, he goes down, gives a lot of opportunity to come up with some big scores, and now just 4 more scores left for this top goal zone to get completely perished by the side of SCQL.
But in the bottom lane, we do see a steal coming in of that Reggie from the players of Team Learn from Pass. If I'm not wrong, it was the Glacian who was able to get the best out of it. So it's good to see that they've got that buff, but I really want to see how that advantage is going to work in the favor of Team Learn from Pass, because SCTL, they have decided from the start that they're going to take that lead. They're going to take multiple KOs. Oh, Mew goes in with the Solar Beam. Was able to inflict some serious damage, but not enough to completely put the players down. Rex on the other corner really wants to go with some good boings, but for now, he's waiting for his support. He's waiting for his, Pokemon to really be aligned at the same point so that they can perform. On the other corner, Hoopa still inflicting a lot of damage, but Skyesports on the top lane, it's All Might who's never going to stop. He's getting a few more damages, and with that spin, he's going to completely back out from the scene, because Buzzwole combination might actually work out a lot. And also in the trees, we do see, in the bushes, we did saw Mew coming in for the later part, but in the bottom lane now, it is a stack up situation coming in for those Alterian Swablues. But Inteleon comes with the steal for that Regieleki. Now with that, yes, the contestment for the tier 2 goal zone in the top lane is definitely going to be there, and I do believe SCTL might actually get the best out of it.
Oh man, it was very important, and that Snipe Shot is doing wonders. Oh my god, he just managed to dodge it. Buzzwole, this could have made the difference for the Unite being committed by but All Might as well as the Glacian steps in, but a lot of values
There you
converting in the favor of SCTUL. The Regeliki hits it, and as always being said, Inteleon comes up with some big scores as well. Now it's time for Hooper to make a fall by Kyurem, and Rex instantly will be popping up in the bottom lane, but instantly the Boinks coming in, the Wooden Hammer, stunning it out. The Hornleech just trying to pull a limb towards their goal zone because they knew they can just stun it out. A lot of damage trying to be done by the Mew, but still Hooper manages to survive, and the Hyperspace Hole will bring him back to that spawn again. Coming up in front of in the battlefield might be causing him a lot of trouble because we see LFP, they are struggling a lot in the bottom.
I mean, once again, pretty much similar storyline as to what we witnessed in the first matchup. But again, they are trying to take the advantage of like Regirox and Regieleki, but it is actually getting stolen every now and then. But this time, it is going to be the Glacian once again taking that Regirock in their favor. But the Rings Unbound changing a lot of things. The point goes in from the Trevenant. We might see a possible KO coming in, and once again, Team Esports was able to completely deny that advantage that the other team learned from past had after taking that Regirock in their favor. Look at this, a very impressive approach coming in from those individuals, and once again, the TP back scenario might actually work out. Alternate swap blue at the contest. Again, wild Pokemons are something which everybody is trying to aim for, but look at Gardevoir already at level 12. That level buff is definitely going to make wonders.
You won't be liking if Gardevoir can just comes up and spoils your entire game, but at this point, even with all those unites, it's not working. Gardevoir commits a unite for sure, but instantly the points come in. Mew gets completely taken down. The Spy Vision is active from the side of Inteleon. Those knife shot will be causing a lot of trouble, and those are actually making a lot of connection. And also, when you have Gardevoir alongside you, those kind of psychic damage as well as those side shocks will be giving a lot of trouble for the side of LFP, but they're pushing it hard. Trevenant hops in. Buzzwole is barely surviving in a very low HP. Inteleon might just make a good connection, but we see Mew coming from the back, and that Solar Beam will give a lot of damage, and instantly in that complete radar, it might be possible that he can find a lot of value. But oh, look at this! The Hydro Typhoon comes in, but still they managed to survive in such a low HP. But still, All Might is contesting for it, he's trying for it, but he will be finally put down by Mew. As what happened is LFP, they've managed to come back very successfully thanks to the healing that were done by Cliffville.
Well, it does feel like that. Here, Team Esports has got the gist of how they have to perform, and their Hydro Typhoons are working out, their Hyperspace Holes are working out, and also, if we talk about the Rings Unbound, a lot of things are definitely in the favor of Team Esports right now. And look at this, once again, the Hyperspace Holes are absolutely on point as shifting the momentum, and maybe there is going to be a seal of that Regieleki coming in pretty soon. Let's see who melts it down. Oh, it's going to be the Blastoise coming in from the Team Esports. Once again, the Tier 1, or should I say Tier 2 goals are already destroyed, and with that, the base goal zone is something which we are looking at. And I'm definitely looking forward to see how Learn from Past is going to enact in that way. But look at this, Slowbro is already having the advantage of securing some good goals in the bottom lane. Maybe things will change because the Trevenant and the other Pokemons are also trying to now stack up onto the bottom lane. They're going to completely destroy this particular Tier 1 goal zone in the bottom lane. There you go, Gardevoir. Oh, Curse gets stopped. He was about to score a 50, but he gets stopped by the Slowbro.
Oh, those knife shots making the connection.
There you go, mate.
You won't escape from his complete, I would say, that radius. No way.
Yeah.
Inteleon will be just finding you no matter what it takes. But that kind of heavy scoring down in the bottom lane, instantly punishing each and every. The healer is down for LFP. This is a great time for SCTUL to melt the Rayquaza, but they will be just looking forward to defend, and you can see the level dip happening from their end.
I mean, there is already a situation where Team Esports has got a very serious buff when it comes to their level. The snipe shots are working out. Look at that, Inteleon waiting patiently. I mean, Bacha at that moment is absolutely on. Oh, look at the damage. Look at the damage that Slowbro is getting inflicted with. Trevenant goes in for a boing, but with that, the Rapid Spin is also going to help the Blastoise a lot. And I believe at this point, Team Esports has got a very clear approach that they're going to deny the whole control of the Legendary Pit from the place of Learn from Past. But Buzzwole has got a different plan. He's going to go for a 70, and that is something which might actually help them to convert the lead in their favor, but they have to do in a rapid pace. They have to get many more AOS energies dumped over there in the Tier 2 and Tier 1 goal zones, and that is something which is going to be scary to be precise. But look at this, the control has been lost. There is going to be a pressurizing situation in the Legendary Pit, and the snipe shot goes in. Trevenant goes in with the ultimate as well. Hydro Typhoon is also there. A lot of unites. The Rings are not being utilized, but let's see who gets a KO. Not even a single KO, but finally we do see a Cliffable KO coming in. Not just that, we might see a few more. And there you go, the Blastoise goes down. Buzzwole is absolutely on fire, but with this, maybe things will change. We have to see how that Inteleon and its snipe shot is going to work now.
Oh, this is a great opportunity. LFP, it's a big chance for them to secure the Rayquaza, but Inteleon is there. There's a lot of damage
Snipe
being
shot.
done, but
Oh, Glacian!
Glaceon, he just gets it. He steals the Rayquaza. It's a big opportunity for LFP to come up with the big scores, and we see Mew walking towards the top path. It's a big opportunity for Inteleon to go with the score, but Clipperville will be there to stop him down. That's a 243 for them. They need to stop this 50. They made it possible. SCTUL, they're defending it hard, but Buzzwole, he has got a great
Oh.
opportunity to go with this, but if he can
Oh,
match it up,
no,
it
no,
seems
no,
it
no,
is
no,
going to
no.
go. It is going. The 50 dunk comes in. Is it LFP who takes the second one? It was a very, very close battle, but it seems that LFP, they might have won it. Oh!
Oh! Oh! Bro, like just 18 points. Just 18 points is what Team LFP was able to get when it is compared to Team SATL Esports. What a play coming in from LFP. Like they were able to melt down the Rayquaza. From the start, they were getting denied of that advantage of that entry point to the legendary pit, but they were able to completely encircle it around. And thanks to that Buzzwole initially, who was able to get a 70. Because if that 70 goals would have not been there from the start, maybe even that 100 would have not helped them. But yes, Buzzwole started it all in the legendary pit in the final stretch time, and with that, Vanquisher and his teammates destroyed the place of SATL Esports in the later part. They're able to get a lot of crucial KOs, and due to that, yes, we do see SATL Esports now at a point where Team LFP is pretty close to them.
Gotta say this, it is very much devastating for the side of SCTUL. In the very final moment, they messed it up. Buzzwole, Vanquisher stepping in the right moment in the final stretch fight, finding a lot of value for his team. No cap how he just played it individually. But Bacha 88,000, almost close to, like, we can say at this point, finding a lot of value, maybe twice of what, if you can just compare it to what Vanquisher is already having. Vanquisher in a limb, combining their total damage. But once again, it was a great final stretch fight that happened from LFP. You know, still pushing it up, still pushing SATUL to their limits. It seemed to me like, yeah, it's SATUL's match. Nobody's gonna win it or take it away. LFP doesn't have a lot of chances. Even if they go for the Rayquaza meltdown,
Yeah.
it will be very late because the way SATUL were holding, it was looking quite impossible. But man, gotta give credits to Cliffable as well as the Buzzwole stepping in. Mew also constantly giving the damage with the Solar Beam. It was tremendous.
I mean, I have to say that Glacian also worked out like a charm for the players of Team Learn from Past, because remember, not just the Rayquaza, but also the whole scenario of the Regieleki and Registeals were getting stolen by the player known as Glacian. I mean, Kamil was absolutely on point on that point, and the way he played, it definitely changed a lot of stuff for Team Learn from Past, and Glacian was the one which was able to be capable enough to completely steal the whole advantage of Rayquaza. He was able to get that final stroke onto that angle, and due to that, yes, we do see Learn from Past pretty close to that area where a grey area has been created, to be honest. We never know who is going to take the lead now. Is it going to be SATL Esports or Learn from Past? Because the current momentum from SATL Esports has been completely scratched. Because if you really see, SATL Esports from the start was pretty much dependent on their own same style, which they were able to utilize in the first match as well. They were sticking to their meta. They were trying to get a lot of serious goals initially and also trying to get as many SKOs as possible. They were trying to deny the entry point for every single scenario, be it the Regieleki, be it the Registeel or the Regirock spawning in the bottom lane. But still, at the end, what happened? That they were far away because they were able to destroy the tier 1 and tier 2 goal zone from the top lane and also tier 1 goal zone from the bottom lane. So they had to go all the way to the base lane or maybe go to the second goal zone in the bottom lane. So that is why they were able to go for those sneaky goals. But Buzzwole was able to do it. How? Because the top lane, if I'm not wrong, tier 1 goal zone was already available from Team SATL's perspective. So LFP went in and eventually secured 70. And now, even after that, Buzzwole was able to secure another set of 100, if I'm not wrong, in the latest stages, which was
Yep.
the final goal coming in from their corner. So LFP definitely utilized every single thing, but that too in the final stretch time. They were pretty much on the losing end if we talk about the first 8 minutes. But eventually, in that last 2 minute time period, the final stretch time, everything changed, and that is now in the favor of Team LFP. What a play coming in from Learn from Pass, and I do believe they have completely made it possible for their name to be a meaningful name, as they've actually learned from their past by getting lost in the first match, and now they're gaining their own momentum in the second match.
The mistakes that they did in the very first match, they rectified it very nicely. And specifically going for those final sneaky scores. We did miss it in the first match because I told you earlier that when Oshifu had a chance to go for the sneaky score to create a little bit more pressure for SA2L, he did not went for it. He decided to play with the team. But in the second match, look what Buzzwole did. He was with the team when it was needed, but he also went with that sneaky score, with that sneaky 70 score which was needed for his team in the right moment. Uh, if he did not have that kind of approach, if Hooper was able to stop him in the right moment, things could have turned out to be in a different way. Because we just witnessed there was a little bit of difference. If that 70 was not happen, if it did not happen in the right moment, SAT would have walked out with a 2-0, and LFP would have been the one to get eliminated from this India Open. They're still keeping their hopes alive to defeat SATUL and continue their run in the lower brackets. But SATUL and both LFP will have their own discussion panel set up right before the decider match in this BO3 series. I was really hoping for a 2-1, and it will be coming in the very exact match in which I will be hopping in. I never expected that.
I mean, what a play, to be honest, from both the individual teams. From the start, SATL had that momentum. They were able to get plays for straight up 8 minutes. But eventually, when that momentum has to be there, when that lead has to be there in the favor, at that same point, LFP was able to completely snatch it away from the corner. So, absolutely amazing play coming in from the players of LFP, and the way they performed was absolutely phenomenal. The way they were able to create an entry and then eventually get multiple KOs onto the players of SATL Esports, and also steal that Rayquaza by the hands of Glaceon was absolutely amazing. Really have to see what kind of bans now are going to come, because initially, yes, we did saw an Umbreon ban coming in from the players of SAT Esports, which they were only using in the first match. But in the second match, they denied it for the other individuals to utilize. But yeah, I have to see that how Team LFP is going to step up right now, because SATUL, we have got a very clear idea of how they might actually play if they are once again going to stick to Hoopa, the Blastoise. I mean, no doubt that All Might did wonders. He was able to completely capitalize the top lane, and that is why the biggest complete change was there in the top lane, because you did saw tier 1, tier 2, both the gold zones being destroyed, and every time the Reggie key was also being stolen by the players of team SATL Esports. All thanks to All Might and his supporters coming in on that lane. He is absolutely phenomenal when it comes to the top lane, but that changing and shifting was not that fruitful for them. Hoopa definitely could have been very, very valuable for them, but eventually it was not the case. And the irony of this game is that even from LFP in the first match, Hoopa was there in their favor and it was not fulfilled. Now it is SAT Esports who was able to utilize it, who was able to get it, and again, similar thing happened. Hoopa was not that fruitful. I don't know what is happening, but yes,
Hooper
have to
curse.
really see how Vanquisher is going to play. Maybe that is the thing.
I mean, there are a lot of curses that we talk about, right? I mean, caster's curse always plays one of the most important factors, but in this case, it seems like the Hoopa is playing the role of what the casters are getting blamed of. You know what? You talked about our name and we got eliminated. That is a kind of caster's curse that we usually see, but Hoopa, I don't think we're going to see this in this final match, or if it's definitely not going to be SCTL to pick Hoopa. At least if they go, we we might be assuming that yes, it's going to be LFP to walk away with the win. But All Might, what is your pick, man? What are you going to decide? Oh,
Hoopa, there you go.
oh my God. Okay, ladies and
He's
gentlemen,
going to
I
stick
did
with the
not,
curse.
I did not say anything just few moments ago. You can forget it. Thank you.
Necros, we are on a live stream, buddy. Everything is recorded, everything is live. Everybody can hear what you saw and what you said about the Hoopa. But yeah, guys, talking about the picks from the players of team Learn from Past, we do see Calmon going for the Mew. Pretty much similar approach. Alim also sticking to his Slowbro. Revenant is going to be there. Trevenant is going to be there for Rex, and apart from that, we have Pacha sticking to his Interior. Pretty much similar approach to as we would witness in the second match as well. So I am feeling once again there's going to be a very good lead coming in from SATL, but they really have to watch out for that legendary pit.
The final stretch fight will be very, very important. I mean, they had missed it. If you talk about LFP, the first time they went in, they missed it. That's fine. I mean, they had made a mistake, but they rectified it so nicely that they came up with a win in the final stretch. But now you have a counter for your Solar Beam. Cursed has picked Venusaur. I really am looking forward to see how are they going to utilize it. Is it going to be a Solar Beam Venusaur, or is it going to be that Giga Ring Petal Dance? Because in the previous match we just saw it earlier. It can be that kind of tactics as well. But there are not a lot of changes coming up from the side of SATL. They have just made a change with the Venusaur from the previous match, and also it is quite similar for LFP as well.
I mean, when you talk about LFE, it is exactly the similar approach that they were able to get in the previous matchup. In the final preparation, nothing will be changing. They're going to stick with those eject buttons, the full heals, and also the potions that they've got like XP. But apart from that, when you talk about the whole scenario, I do believe the Buzzball and Cliffable approach can be very, very fruitful. This time, yes, what SAT will have changed is going to be their attacker. The other attacker, Badsha, is sticking with Intinion, but the other guy, Curse, is now going to go with the Venusaur, irrespective of the fact that he was able to choose the Gardevoir in the first matchup. But yes, in that initial match, Gardevoir was not that fruitful. The Psyshocks were coming in, he was definitely trying to evolve a lot, and eventually, if I'm not wrong, even the level buff was there for Team City Esports. But still, at the end, they slipped, and the whole control fell in the hands of Team LFP for the Legendary Predator. They were able to completely seal it away, and also in the base lane goal zone, I do believe a lot of denial was coming in, but still not enough to completely put down the players of Team LFP. And with that, TS Sky Ruins is the battle arena, and yes, we are about to witness the final match of match number 2 today, which is between Team SAT Esports and LFP. Have to see who is going to be there on top, because currently we are sitting in a grey area where we really don't know who is going to become the winner.
Final match underway. This BO3 series takes a final turn. Skyesports or Learn from Past, one team will walk away from this India Open 2023. But which team will it be? Is it going to be Learn from Past? We will be witnessing that, and we will have the results in just a matter of 10 minutes as the timer is ticking with 9 minutes 37 seconds on the mark. The starting fights have already been started. Kunim is going for those early stacks alongside, maybe he's just trying to defend against Vanquish, my bad. But it seems Squirtle, he has got All Might. He's having a big opportunity to go with those early scores by stopping Buzzvole on the top. It's going to be very important. He has dropped down to a very low HP, but All Might also needs to get those wild Pokemons farmed for himself to level up as fast as possible, because if he stacks if he levels up like 5 to 7 or maybe before like 7 or 6 minutes, 7 minutes marker, then it can be very, very much fruitful for SATUL.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're trying constantly to do that. They're trying to level up as fast as possible. Level 5 is what Team SATUL Esports is looking at when it comes to the respect of Squirtle, and the water turtle will be coming in pretty soon. And there you go, the water turtle is here. We do see the alternate Swablu also getting utilized by the players of Team SATUL Esports, and once again they're trying to maintain that lead from the start. But that deletion, I do believe Team SATUL has to watch out for that, because that deletion completely changed the whole game for them. And in this particular matchup, again they have to watch out for it. Hoopa once again is getting a lot of damage. That's why the Kappa Space Holes are pretty much active. Really have to see how that play is going to get I guess initiated, but for now I have to see how SATUL Esports is also going to unfold, because from the start they were able to capitalize a lot in the previous match as well, but in the later stages things started to change. And also with the choice of a Venusaur in the place of Gardevoir coming in by the players of Team SATUL Esports as an attacker is going to be a very interesting one, but they have to stick with it. They have to put the best effort right now if they really want to, I guess, shine, or should I say outshine the opponents, like Learn from Past.
At this point, even Learn from Past, again they will be focusing for the end fights. I mean, the final 2 minutes fight, the final stretch fight will be one of the most concerning moments that they will be looking forward to, because they know from the first 8 minutes it's difficult to find a lot of control. They are pushing SATUL, but for the team game, or if you talk about tactically, SATUL are a bit more experienced and a bit more strong in a comparison from LFP. And that is proving that why they do have a good control over the early game and the mid game. But LFP in the final stretch fight, they just need one loophole from the side of SATUL to capitalize it. They got that in the second match. They proved it, and will find the value. But for now, it seems that yes, there are some kind of difficulties that always happen in game, because technical stuff always happens. It's never too easy for all the players. But again, coming back to those discussions, that I really believe that LFP, again, they will be looking forward to go with those final stretch fight or secures for Rayquaza, which might turn the tables. But what do you think, Raider, that this time SATUL will make those similar mistakes, or they might be coming with some hands?
I really doubt that those similar mistakes are going to get like utilized once again from the players of Visit Release. But I do believe they are going to evolve a lot, and they are going to figure out what went wrong in the previous matchup, and that's why SC Release was one of those experienced teams which can really bounce back. And we did saw that bounce in the first match, but in the second match things started to fall down because they were sticking with the same approach. They were trying to deny those entries. They were not even concerned about taking that requires advantage. But in the later stages, when they did saw learn from passes already approaching that angle, and they're trying to get the best out of it. They're trying to get the Rayquaza in the favor. At that point, yes, even Acetul started to dish out the damage. They wanted to steal it away, but eventually it got out from their hands. So this time, I do believe Acetul Esports might actually have that whole initial control in their favor, but in the later stages, they could actually figure out how they can melt down the Rayquaza, meanwhile denying the entry from Team Learn from Past as well. Because that Rayquaza advantage can completely shift the whole thing. And also, they have to watch out that they are not going to like completely dish out whole damage onto one particular lane. Like eventually the top lane was completely obliterated, the tier 1 tier 2 gold zone was completely destroyed. They had to go all the way to as a base lane gold zone if they really wanted to go for a sneaky one. And also if you talk about the bottom lane, the tier 1 was destroyed, the tier 2 was available. Intellion wanted to go ahead and score for that, but I do believe that Mew, or if I'm not wrong, Slowbro was already guarding it.
Yeah, I mean, every time the defenders have played a major role. At first, there was a time when we just saw that all-rounder and speedsters coming into play, but for a long period of time, the double defender composition, as well as keeping two long-range attackers, keeping one supporter, this kind of combination, not taking any speedster or I would say all-rounder, have also helped a lot of times, and Slowbro blocking the other maybe oppositions. Same goes for Blastoise. Even in the first match, who was it? It was All Might, I believe. All Might, and yes, it was that Ninetales coming into play that prevented LFP to make any kind of moves in the final stretch fight, and that was, I would say, one of the biggest moves that happened. But I don't know if Ninetales actually worked out pretty well for SHUL. Why they are not going once again? I mean, there might be some kind of strategic call from side of All Might and the players, but I believe that if Bacha can actually find a lot of value from Ninetales, they can go for it, because in spite of Venusaur's Giga Trainer Petal Dance, if they're trying to go with it, it might not be that much fruitful.
That is definitely the case. So looking forward to see once the pause gets lifted, how the play is going to come from the players of HTL and Learn from past. Because remember, guys, we are currently sitting in a gray area. We really don't know who is going to be the team who has got the upper hand in the overall picture in their favor. But I still believe HTL Esports might actually resume their title as they come back kings, because Learn from past, yes, they are struggling a bit, and eventually their choices of Pokemon is pretty much similar. And if you are able to completely break that stack of Buzzball and Clippable, I do believe Versatile Esports can easily get a lot of entry points, a lot of interesting goals. But yes, guys, patiently waiting on how the match is going to unfold, because it really matters how Versatile is going to step up from here. Because if they don't, they're going to get eliminated from the Pokemon Unite India Open 2023. The playoffs is not going to look good for Team Versatile Esports. It is already a sad thing that we have seen Versatile Esports dropping down to the lower bracket, because that is a team which has been renowned, which has got a lot of experience in this particular scenario. But obviously, due to those changes in rosters and new metas, new Pokemons coming in, the buffs and nerfs that are coming in, obviously the players are trying to adapt along with it. And due to that, yes, they are struggling for now. But there are some teams who have already got that struggle in their favor. They are adapted along with the way they have got they've got the idea of which particular Pokemon they're going to use and how that synergy is going to work out for them. And that's why those teams are completely sitting right now in the winners bracket. And in the losers bracket, yes, we definitely have to see how the play is going to unfold.
Specifically, if you talk about, as you mentioned earlier, again in the game, that if anyhow SATUL manages to, break down that kind of combination of Cliffable and Buzzwole, and also shutting down Cliffable in the final stretch will play a major factor. The first time it got stopped, SATUL found the value. The second time it was stopped, but again, the time that the players of LFP actually bought up for Cliffable to again, respawn and come back into the battlefield, that amount of time played the major factor, because when Cliffable
Hmm.
hopped into that final stretch in the legendary pit, it was all too late. Everybody was dropped down to low HP. SATUL had a chance to take down one another, but again that healing effect coming up from the side of Cliffable heal every other player, every other his teammates, and regain themselves to the top notch from where they found a lot of value. And in that case, when you talk about like Hoopa, yes, Hoopa got taken down, and instantly when Hoopa was shut down completely by the side of LFP, what did SATL had to go with the heals because there was no hyperspace hole. You cannot go back to the spawn and get yourself patched up. Even if they go with that, went down or went above for the citrus berry because the bottom gold zone was still active, so the citrus berries were there. But for how long? It can just regain you a little bit amount of HP, or only two Pokemons could have just gone and get it, but that actually doesn't work, especially in the final stretch fights. You don't get a lot of time to work out.
No, definitely, and for that reason, yes, SATL was able to get slipped away from that control that they were able to get initially. But really, guys, it really matters how this final stretch is going to like pan out. To be honest, because SATL Esports now got the idea that they were trying to completely deny the entry, but it didn't work out. In the later stages, their Pokemon were getting hunted down. They were getting a full stack coming in from the opponents, and they were trying to completely control all the different angles. But there was a certain approach coming in from the, if I'm not wrong, bottom lane, from the side of bottom lane in the legendary pit, and due to that there were a lot of chaos coming in. There was a lot of utilities and abilities being dumped over there, and all thanks to Glacier, the whole control got stolen. And with that, even after that, if I'm not wrong, SATL Esports was able to completely deny the entry to the base lane goal zone, but there was still a possibility of the top lane goal zone and also the bottom lane tier 1 goal zone, which was pretty much opened up. And due to that, Buzzworld definitely was able to make that significant improvement. So in this particular matchup, team SATL has to figure out which particular tier 1 or tier 2 goal zone has to be destroyed and how they have to play if that requires advantage is going to get stolen. All of those situations have to be pretty much be calculated by the players of SATL Esports. All Might is doing wonders in the top lane, but there has to be a consideration that the bottom lane and also the mid path is pretty much opened up. From that region, how the play is going to unfold, which particular Pokemon they're going to use, how they're going to rotate back and forth. I mean, for that, yes, they have already chosen the Hoopa and might actually help them a lot in the later stages. So I'm patiently waiting on how the game is going to unfold once it gets started, because again, those Hoopa and along with the combination of Trevenant, the Inteleon can really work out a lot. And even Trevenant was dishing out a lot of damage, but then again, I have to say those knockouts were not coming in the later stages.
I mean, those boings were annoying. If you were on the side of LFP, you would have realized that, those wooden hammer is giving a lot of damage to us. But yeah, again, if you talk about Venus, getting a Venusaur on your composition to maybe counter the Solar Beam of Mew, because that was giving a hell lot of damage. It was just not little. It was just not like, oh, it's okay, it's fine. If we are getting that Solar Beam hit, we can still survive. We can get the heal back. But the way the Solar Beam, after it has got a little bit of buff. Yes, the cooldown was reduced, but once again, the damage, those huge solar beam attacks from the side of Mew, is creating hindrance for the opponents. And specifically, SATL have understand we need to counter a rock by a rock. So that means we need to bring Venusaur with that solar beam, and if it's a sludge bomb combination, that can be also effective. But yeah, alongside a snipe shot of Inteleon, if we are seeing that solar beam coming into play, oh man, that can be some long range attack that we can expect from SATL. The snipe shot, it has given so much damage to the oppositions every time it got the connection. But yeah, there is a kind of,
True.
I would believe, a disadvantage for snipe shot, because if you miss it, you have to wait for some time to again
Yeah.
the cooldown to get over, and then you take the shot. But if it hits in the right moment, in the right time, it can give you a hell lot of damage, and we saw it earlier as well.
Definitely. I mean, if you talk about the whole scenario of like approximately 4 minutes to 8 minutes, we did saw a lot of snapshots being missed and also a lot of snapshots being completely utilized by the Inteleon coming in from ZTU Esports. So at this point in the second match, I do believe that Inteleon, along with that Venusaur approach, can be very, very useful. Both the attackers can be there on the bottom lane and they can easily do wonders. They can get a lot of knockouts, and also in the legendary pets, those range attackers can actually get the best out of it. But if he goes with the pedal dance, then again, the close range fights are going to be pretty impressive by Venusaur. But at the same point, the approach of Hoopa along with that Blastoise is going to be very beneficial on the top lane, where Almighty loves to performance. And I mean, in the first match, in the second match, again, he was absolutely on point with it. But if I'm not wrong, in the first match, the Blastoise was completely from Leon Pass. But for now, Leon Pass is facing with some ping issues, guys, and that's why the small pause is in the particular corner. But right now, we are going to take a short break. After all the issues are resolved, we'll be back to see what happens from the Battle of Learn from Pass versus Israel. Well, guys, we are back again on the desk of Pokemon Unite India Open 2023. My name is Jade. Along with me, do have Nikros on the desk. And yes, we have already seen how SATL esports can be effective. But at the same point, we have also seen how they can slip off and how Team Learn from Past can gain that advantage and gain that advantage in the second match. Well, I once again want to ask you, Nikros, what do you think what will happen in the third match, which is the final one, which is going to give us a name who is going to get disqualified? Choose your word wisely.
Bro, don't. Just don't. Don't put me in that death hole where I cannot come up again. I mean, if I just say LFP, then the players of LFP will be coming in telling me, bro, why did you tell our name and we got eliminated? If I tell about SATL, I am quite sure All Might, he's going to just come and like, bro, when we meet, I will definitely make sure you are going to
I'm
pay
going
for
to
this. So,
blast you with my Blastoise,
yeah,
huh?
exactly. He's going to spin me around with that kind of hydro typhoon in real life. So I don't want to take any risks. I just want to stay the better. Let the better team win. That's it. That's the final statement
Okay,
I'm going to
a
drop.
very
No more.
politically correct answer coming in from
Very,
Necros.
very much.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
diplomatic
true,
answer.
true, true. I mean, to be honest, yes, we really don't know which particular team is going to have that advantage because again, the picks are going to be pretty much similar, and the only change that we did saw from SC2's perspective was the Venusaur coming in the place of a Gardevoir, which they were able to choose in their losing match.
Mhm.
But yes, losing that control of Rayquaza was something SC2 is going to still like have a grudge with because if SC2 would have capitalized on it, if they would have denied that entry, there was a clear victory coming in from Team SC2 Esports. Like from the start, we were still like basically on the very good note that SC2 Esports is completely going to win this one because they had their lead, they had their advantage, they were getting those KOs, they were denying every single entries, and also they were getting all those Regis in their favor. But yes, it was the sneaky Glacian which was getting every single Regi Steel and Regi Rocks which were coming in the bottom lane. So that was a kind of scenario where SHL had to completely watch out for that nuance because again, those icicle shots coming in from the Glacian completely changed the whole thing. They were able to get the advantage. Learn from Pass was able to have the best out of it, and with that, yes, we really have a equalizing stand right now in the PO3 scenario. So currently, we are sitting at a note where Team SAT Esports can get eliminated or even Team LFP can get eliminated. But for that elimination not to happen for that particular team, they really have to outperform themselves in this particular matchup and they have to put the best effort. They have to go for that rule that they are going to go with, like the by the book rule. Because in the legendary pit, you can really go for some split second decisions. You have to actually figure out what you have to do from the start of that legendary pit in your favor. In the finals this time, I do believe this time SAT Esports is going to have an approach where they're going to take that melting down scenario a little bit more seriously because in the previous matchup, in the previous two matches, they were pretty much adamant on the fact that they're going to deny the entry of the opponent. But the entry will still come in because there will be a stack coming in. There will be a complete whole stack coming in onto the particular Pokemon service it release post, and due to that, they might actually fall down, and those chaos can be coming in. So for that situation, I believe in order to deny it, SAT will definitely have to step up on that particular scenario.
I mean, a lot of changes will be done. We already have seen that composition from both these sides. I believe we will be sticking to that only in this when the game will be coming up. But yes, as we just got a little bit of hint that yes, the players are ready. The game will be starting in some time. We will be able to see the third match in the action very soon. The final match between both the teams, which will decide yes who is going to stay still in the competition and which team will just walk away just by being in the lower bracket. So we have to just wait and watch, but it seems the match has already been started. We see the same draft pick coming up from both the end. There is no such changes, but what I'm really concerned about is will All Might get the chance, because it seems that he's being trampled by Buzzwole as well as Cliffable to not allow him to get the scores. Well, Hoopa, he will be coming to just stop Buzzwole till a little bit of extent, giving a chance for All Might to level up for himself and get the stacks done.
Well, indeed, the stacking up scenario is definitely working out for both the individuals because that Hoopa along with that Squirtle looks absolutely deadly and they are able to secure some serious goals initially, but now look at them. Again, the Squirtle has to go for that 10 years energy to be dumped over there in the tier 1 goal zone coming in from the top lane. In the bottom lane, we do have a different storyline because Mew and the other Pokemon is already over there trying to have a tussle. And it is going to be a slow bro if I'm not wrong, which is pretty close to Mew as the defender is just going to give that advantage to his attacker. But yes, Inteleon and the other individuals are also going to make a move over there, and there you go, the Hoopa once again brings in the hyperspace holes. Evolution will be coming in for Cliffable, and still it is going to be the players of team LFP on the top lane, who has got that advantage, who has got that evolution factor in their favor, and is playing a vital role. But in the top lane, there was a contestment, but in the bottom lane, it is going to be a Glacier who is going to find the Trevenant out of the equation.
They found a loophole and they completely executed it. Look at the scores coming in from LFP. Not able to stop it. SATL Esports, they know exactly what to do, but LFP, they're just proving so much better. Maybe they're just using the same tactics as SATL did in the very first match and going with the same stats that you showed us. It can be a good challenge for them as well. LFP finding those early values will be very crucial, while Buzzvole is trying to get some values, but All Might, he's pushing him to the limits with those Hydro Pump for himself. But once again, SATL Esports, they have to keep themselves alive. If they want to keep themselves alive in this competition, they have to come up with some different strats, some different tactics. Maybe trying to get the Rayquaza fight done in the final stage can be some different kind of approach that what SATL will be looking forward to.
Yeah, the final stretch. That is something I'm actually worried about for the perspective of SATL Esports, because they lost their control in the initial matchup. But in this one, yes, again, it is Team Learn from Past who is taking that initial control, and they've got a very serious amount of, like, let's say, huge points coming in. Also, the level buff is looking absolutely amazing. But Venusaur on the other corner is already at level 8. The hyperspace holds are active, which is going to give that momentum shift. And also with that, Venusaur is going to go with the solar beam, and it is working out shamelessly. Mew also decided to go with it, but eventually was unable to get the best out of it. Yes, there was a KO coming in. Vanquisher already at a very low amount of HP. He can be taken down, but there is nobody who is really tracing him, and he is going to go with the Citrus Berry. And with that, the solar beams from Mew is also going to come so that they can farm out those wild Pokemons. They can level up ASAP, because look at the leveling up scenario coming in from the place of SATL Esports. Their attackers, they are definitely looking good. They're at level 8. Regieleki is now being in the contestment, and they're trying to melt it away. And on the bottom lane, I do believe the Regirock is also going to be getting interested by the players. But with this, the tier 1 goal zone is now pretty much empty, and it is actually pretty open for those individuals to go with. But Inteleon, yes, eventually will be able to seal it out, and the slingshots are actually working out.
Looking forward to those top lane contention at this point. Oh, that Spy Vision has been activated, will be giving a lot of damage, but that Solar Beam again will be troubling Mew as for now, my bad. But well, the Hyperspace almost comes up in the right moment, will be giving a lot of chance to make a fallback for all the other Pokemons and also get the heal done. Well, we see everybody stacking on only at one single lane. The top lane has already been breached, so it gives a lot of advantage for LFP to go with the bottom lane approach. They want to take the entirety of the control, but the snipe shot did make a little bit of contact, but Mew just survived with just a little damage. But still, the wooden hammer trying to find a lot of value. Really, it seems that LFP, they're looking forward to just stick all together up close and take the final fire, take those battles and contest all together to trouble SATL.
Yeah, definitely. Those stacking up scenarios are working out, because they do know that the other team to be precise, has got that Hoopa, which can easily bring in that stacking up scenario with the hyperspace holes, and also the Rings Unbound can be very, very interesting to watch. For that reason, Learn from Past is definitely sticking up with their own formation. Oh, that KO! Looks deadly, and with that, yes, Vanquisher is going to have that advantage. He's soon going to be of level 10, which is again going to give that pressure onto the place of Team SATL Esports. But despite the fact that their own individual Pokemons are at level 10 and 11, they are still unable to bring that output. Look at this. Trevenant is about to get KO, but he falls down to his tier 1 goal zone in the bottom lane, which is going to give them the advantage to heal up once again. The snipe shots are again getting intact. Singer and snipe shot, the best combination that you can really have right now from these individuals. Oh, look at that. He is using that to really go for the wild Pokemons. Can actually inflict a lot of damage onto the other Pokemons from Team Learn from Past. And look at this, Buzzvole does not have that stack of Clippable along with him. So that Solar Beam could have been a very chaotic one. The Surf comes in from Blastoise, and yes, Vanquisher is going to be successful in backing out from that scene. Going to go for the Citrus Berry so that his HP is going to be recovered, and then he's going to fight back. But the squishy one, the Mew, gets taken down.
Mew can be troubling, but it seems Inteleon, he wants to clear off all the tall grasses on the mid path, but instantly giving a big room for Buzzvole to go with the scores. He will be getting that 40 up for himself. LFP, they're coming with some very decent scores, but the top lane has been breached by SATL, and now they're trying to melt down the Regieleki as fast as possible, because this is a big opportunity. Vanquisher is still not in the area, not in the close proximity. The Solar Beam as well as those snipe shot made a difference, and the Regieleki will be pushed down towards the tier 2. on the top lane, and as of now, SETL, they're also trying to push LFP away from the Reggie Rock, and they want to melt it too. They want to secure both the Regis in their favor, while the Cliffable can be a little troubling as All Might. He wants to flush him down from that position using that Surf, but the Mystical Mirage being activated by Mute is a little late, but I really don't think it will find a lot of value, though still Buzzwole with those beautiful scores have already breached down and destroyed the first 8-tier goal zone in the bottom lane.
Both in the top lane and bottom lane, the tier 1 gold zones has completely destroyed, and we do see a lot of chaos coming in. It's going to be Slowbro who gets 2, Glacian on the other corner who finds Trevenant, and Mew finds Hoopa. Oh, the only individual which is right over there is going to be Inteleon. He's going to fall back, and he has got a level 12. Snipe shots being still utilized. The Felsinger and Snipe shot again. That similar combination as to what he was utilizing in the initial phase as well is going to be the case. There you go, taking down the players. Alternating Swablu once again gets contested. 248 from the players of team Learn from Past, and now we go to that tricky path pretty soon where the Rayquaza, the legendary pit, is going to get opened, and the Rayquaza boss one will be coming in. Oh, that Mew is still being very effective. That Solar Beam is looking absolutely amazing. The only disadvantage that you have with Snipe Shot is basically it can be predicted, and you can really escape from it by just a single move.
Yeah, I mean, that's a kind of factor that plays, but once again the Snipe Shot comes in, and also the following up with that Solar Beam both does not had a big impact, but the Snipe Shot every time it's making that connection, it's really not working out the way Bacha wanted to be. That's why maybe we see many of the players going for the liquidation, at least because it makes a sure hit, that's for sure. Yep, as we just see the Rayquaza spawns in the final in the legendary pit, while Learn from Past, they do have a brilliant lead, while SATUL, they have to be the one to take the control and melt down the Rayquaza in order to win this final battle. But LFP, will they be able to stop SATUL from doing it?
Oh, too many snapshots being missed. Oh, look at that, another one. I mean, this is something which is going to be very tricky and very, like, let's say, uncomfortable for those individuals to go with. But look at this, again the waterfalls are being utilized. It's a Trevenant which is about to get KO'd if the support does not come in, but KO is not going to be that easy. He's going to fall back once again, all thanks to that Hoopa with the hyperspace holes. They're going to be back with the HP, and the solar beams are also coming in. Once again, they're trying to deny all that entry, but SATUL Esports yet to score a serious score, and that is something which is going to make them worry. The Inteleon goes down even after he had the level buff. Also, the Trevenant has been KO'd. This is looking like a match for Team LFP. There's nothing that Team SATUL can really do to completely deny that fact. They can easily go for a steal, but the rings and mount might actually change all the thing, and there you go. The lead might be getting converted pretty soon by the players of SATUL Esports. This could be anybody's. Oh, it is going to be a steal again from Glacian. It's done. LFP is going to move forward in the lower bracket round number 2, but SATUL Esports are about to get denied of their existence in the Pokemon Unite India 2023. This is not at all looking good. This is not at all looking good for the players of Team SATUL Esports. Look at that. Both the tier goal zones have been destroyed. Now it all trickles down to the baseline goal zone where the seals are about to get destroyed. But still is the Buzzwole who has got a stack of 100, which is still remaining. They can go for it.
Oh my god, this is definitely not anybody expected. SATUL, they again messed it up in the final stretch. Not only the final stretch, but also in the entire game. We did not see a lot of control happening from the side of SATUL. But oh my god, the composition, the kind of strategy that they came up with did not work out. It's all done and dusted. LFP, another 100 coming up. They know the deed is done. The one who won the WCS India qualifiers have eventually been eliminated from Pokemon Unite India Open 2023. SATUL, they just walk away with nothing, not a single win. This is a big, big blow towards the champions.
Well, completely disheartened, to be honest, to see what happened to Team SATUL in this particular matchup. I was not at all really expecting this kind of play coming in from SATUL, but the results are clear. It is going to be Vanquisher, which is going to vanquish the existence of Team SATUL from the whole playoff stage 1. And yeah, with that, definitely SATUL Esports is going to have a very big learning curve from here, because LFP, they were able to embark a new journey for themselves in the lower bracket, and it's going to be round 2 where they're going to sit comfortable for their next opponent to come. And apart from that, yes, Vanquisher, Calmon did wonders, to be honest. Their KOs, their assist looks absolutely amazing.
A complete team game performance. After losing the first match, they decided they, worked and studied over the loopholes that was supposed to happen. Every time they found an opportunity, they know that SATUL, they make very silly mistakes, and there is a very small chance of error that might happen, and if we can capitalize on that, SATUL will be under pressure, and it's completely justified the way they played it, not allowing anybody, especially you can see the defenders. Yes, All Might with 0 assist, Rex with 3 assists with 0 KOs, not allowing the attackers even to open up. That was a complete disaster for SATUL. Yes, they have given a lot of damage. We can see Cursed with 88,000, Bacha with 67. In a comparison, yes, Vanquisher did not give a lot of damage, but he found the values whenever it was required.
Yeah, guys, with that, we do have the first team who's going to get eliminated from the competition. It is going to be SATUL Esports with a heavy heart. We have to say that, but yes, that is the case. Look at the scoreline, look at the whole scenario where the damages and the reciprocation was coming in. Prod this time was not able to stick a lot with the buzz ball, but still was able to give a huge amount of recovery for his teammate being the supporter. But on the other corner, if we talk about Kurim, as you can see, the recovery was not that on point. As a supporter, Hoopa had to did wonders, and the only time where I saw Hoopa being really effective was the later stages in the final stretch. That Rings Unbound definitely changed a lot of things, but still it was Glaceon with that icicle was able to completely steal it away. Like, not even the first match, but also in the second match, there was a similar situation where Glaceon was able to steal those vital legendary Pokemons, the Regielekis as well, and that's exactly what they did. Look at that. SATUL Esports from the start, they had the control of Regirocks, but eventually Regielekis were in the favor of team Learn From Past. They were able to set a high score from the start. When Learn From Past had 80 points in their favor, SATUL was stuck with just 4 points. On the hindsight, when SATUL started to pick up the pace, like 169 points and 248 for them in the final stretch, before the start of the final stretch, at that point, yes, they were definitely looking like a team which could have, I guess, gained that advantage. They were again trying to stick with the same meta that they were trying to stick with in the second game, if I'm not wrong. They were trying to completely deny the entry, but at the end, what happened? They got 2 KOs. Inteleon and Trevenant, both of them got KO'd, and due to that, a very big opening was created, and then it was completely chance of team Learn From Past, and they completely was able to capitalize on it. They were not going to deny that beautiful advantage that they were able to get.
Every time it's just like, I would say, LFP, they did not went for those final stretch fight. I mean, we just saw it in the second match, that they were focusing on the final stretch fight and looking forward to the loopholes where SATUL might falter. And completely, there is no doubt on Mew Calmon. He played very nicely with a score like 84 rating with the 62,000, almost close to 63,000 damage. He did a fantabulous job in giving damages to the opponents, also pushing them in the back seat, and just driving the entire control over the match. It was just phenomenal coming up from the side of LFP. But once again, I was telling that LFP, they focused completely over the entirety of the match in this one, because they kept the lead from the very start. They did not had a focus that yes, when the final stretch fight will arrive, we'll focus on that and we'll try to secure the Rayquaza and we'll win the game.
Well, Calmon did wonders, and with that Mew, definitely look at the damage that he was able to destroy and eventually was able to dish onto the players of Team SATUL Esports. Well, Mew is a Pokemon which Team SATUL was trying to have from the start of the game, but eventually they were denied due to the ban that was coming in, and also due to the picks that were there. Eventually, if we talk about the LFP, in the first match they decided to go with the Blastoise and Mew, when the other guy from Team SATUL decided to go with an Embryon and a Slowbro initially. Slowbro was by the player known as, if I'm not wrong, All Might in the first match. So things started to trickle down from that region where Team SATUL was unable to get the best Pokemons in their favor, which they utilized at the peak, and due to that, yes, this kind of loss is here for them in the later stages. So in the match number 1 till the game number 2, we get to see a lot of ups and downs coming in from the players, and due to that, the scoreline is absolutely in the favor of Team LFP. And now LFP has to completely stick on this kind of performance, because there is going to be a lot of ups and downs in the later phases as well, because they're still in the lower bracket. If they really want to bounce back, they have to go till the losers of winner bracket finale. So that battle is going to be very interesting, to be honest. So a long way to go, and SATUL is now done and dusted. And on the hindsight, LFP is going to move forward for one more battle. Maybe if they lose that, yes, they're going to be out of the equation.
They have to be very, very much aware of every other match that is coming in their way. They're in the lower bracket, so still if they want it, it's good, because defeating the mighty SATL, it's definitely not a matter of joke that you've defeated the previous champions of the worlds, and now it's time that you move on. So we will be seeing some new faces, or maybe a new champion. FS Esports, they're still on the upper brackets. They will be trying to keep themselves alive in that upper bracket only. But when you have opponents like Griffin, True Gravity, Forge, Forge and
Forge
all,
your
the team
legacy.
of Volk, yeah, Forge your
Yeah.
legacy of the team of Volk and all. So they are putting so much efforts. So all the teams who are still in the upper brackets are one of the most. They do have one of the most biggest players in the Indian circuit, one of the most experienced players in their lineup. So they're putting the worth. But for now, as this match got an end to it, we'll be
Mhm.
also taking a very short break, and we'll be coming up with the final match, the final BO3 series of this day, of the second day of this Pokemon Unite India Open 2023. After a mind-boggling match that we witnessed few moments ago, where SATUL were defeated by the new faces, or maybe the upcoming stars like Learn from Past, and getting them taken down, and completely, showing them the exit path from this India Open 2023. I really wonder what's coming up next. But if you talk about next, we also have a change in our cast desk. I have got my buddy, that is going to be Lucifer, joining me live on the desk, and we have Bed Raider. Bye bye for the day. And Lucifer, what would you just say about the previous match that you witnessed?
I think it's a big upset coming in for SATL. Yesterday as well, they got their second game. We thought maybe they'll come into the upper bracket and stay alive and maybe put down Griffin to the loser bracket. Didn't happen. Unfortunate for them, and today they get eliminated out of India Open in its entirety. And I think this is going to be a big upset for all the fans out there. And this was bound to happen, as you did even mention, right? There's been changes in roster. There are some new and young blood coming through, and also a shuffle between their ex-teammates and so and so. And I think that's where it worked out better, especially of how Vanquisher played here on Buzzwall with Prod coming in their lineup. I think it worked out really well, and in the name itself, learn from the past mistake they learned, and then they've moved ahead. Now coming into a team that has moved ahead and maybe looking forward to finding a chance to get ahead, maybe in the loser bracket, going ahead to the grand finals. If there's a chance, it's going to be one of the teams between Clown 5 and SC. Both the teams yesterday did kind of have the first losses in the start itself, winner bracket round 1. Both of them are going to be fighting against each other. I'm not too sure how it's going to work out. You can see, right? Clown 5 yesterday had a second game. Now, that was against FSE Sports. FSE Sports, we spoke about them. They are those dark horses who came inside WCS regional qualifiers and blew everybody out of waters. Clown 5 went against them, did not work out, pushed out to the lower bracket. SZ got the first push towards directly the lower bracket. Players coming in: Legion, Sinks, Joy, It's Okay, Obito, and on the other end, SZ have Animator, Glitchy, Vishu, Genesis, and Kirmada.
Looking forward to see what kind of show will SZ be able to come up with, because the first opponents that they faced in this India Open was exactly Griffin. I mean, one of the most strongest teams as of now in India Open, so it's not that easy for some new stars to outshine the experienced one. We were completely sure about it, but you know, this kind of things completely changed when we just saw the previous match of LFP versus SHUL, where the experienced one got crushed so drastically. But again, SC and Clown5, they haven't registered a single win for themselves in this tournament as of now. Now this is a big chance. Only one team will survive. This is all coming down to that single elimination kind of format, because they are in the lower brackets. So that means their one chance, their one lifeline has already gone out and it's over. So if they win for the second time, they're just out of this competition, and they will be just bidding bye-bye to this India Open. But while one team will be moving forward to face NDY, who will be waiting for them in the second round of this lower brackets.
I'm worried here for SC right from the gate, just because yesterday Clown5 were able to fight off with FSE Sports, did even kind of trouble FSE Sports, because if you saw the first 8 minutes of the game, it didn't look like FS had control of things. It was the final stretch battle that FSE Sports brought themselves back in control, and they won it out, pushing Clown5 to the loser bracket journey. Now, coming towards the side of SC, they directly got pushed out by Griffin. We even spoke about the fight. It did not look like SC had any control of things. It will look like just 5 people playing ranked, and they were just smothered coming in from Team Griffin. And you mentioned, yes, Team Griffin has had a mix of people coming through from various different teams and rosters. So over the time, it feels like Team Griffin as a whole has developed throughout the Pokemon Unite circuit. I'm not just saying now, but I'm saying in terms of how the team has developed. Let's see, after fighting against the likes of Griffin, have SC improved? Have they understood their mistakes against them? And is it going to be a better day? Time for the draft, time for the ban, and we can see already SC banning Zacian, which has been a standard ban throughout the India Open from when we started, and on the other end, it has been Inteleon. One and always the team which doesn't get a first choice bans Zacian. The other team, depending on how the opponent plays, they kind of go for a different ban, and it feels like they do not want to give them an Inteleon and immediately ban that Inteleon out.
Inteleon has already made a lot of impact, but previously we just saw now Mew is always coming into the question for every team. Everyone want Mew on their side with that kind of solar beam damage that it can give towards the opponent, creating a lot of hindrances for them. Always gives a tough challenge for the opponents when you have gotten Mew in the opposition. Specifically as of now, SC, they have picked 2 very crucial picks. Glitchy went with that Blissey, and Cyclone has gone with the True Bro, that is going to be Slow Bro for their end, while on the counter we also see a Trevenant and Cliffable coming into play.
Ninetales, we saw this coming in from Bacha, and we did see even the game being secured from SHUL, but a little bit of a mistake and everything started flubbing. Genesis coming in with the Blastoise. We did see the Blastoise did not work on the stack, and therefore it was a little bit of a trouble here, coming in with the special attack specs. Let's see how that works out. On the other end, Obito coming in with none other than a Buzzwall, having a focus span, attack weight, as well as a weakness policy, which I do like, and Sinks coming in with none other than an energy amplifier. This is something that I'm looking forward to, especially in the recent times, as we are seeing that the Venusaur, Beamosaurs or Petal Dance Saurs are working out. But going in for a double defender comp, bringing in Vishu, had soft lock to a Lapras, but now he's changing to a Desi, making sure that the snipe is still going to be there, if not for a snipe shot, at least a Spirit Shackle.
And at this point, Desi has always, even when you just imagine the Unite of Desi has also been, kind of got a buff recently, and now again, I really love to see how Desi has been used in the previous time as well, and seeing them once again in this India Open after a long period of time of what matches I casted. Now I really want to see, as you like, Inteleon is not there still as a kind of a replacement. Yes, Desi can play with the Spirit Shackle, and when the Knock Knock comes into the play, will it be able to give a lot of damage to the opposition? Specifically, shutting down Mew will be one of the most important factor that SZ will be hoping in, specifically in the final stretch fights.
Now it has an attack weight, so I think that's going to be more crucial here for SC to concentrate that Glitchy gets the stack along with Blastoise on Genesis. If that does not happen, we might see another flub coming through. I'm pretty sure SZ would not want to be pushed out. A golden badge Cliffable. Seems like Itoke Babu has been just spamming Cliffable with his teammates on 5-stack ranks, and looks like he's ready to slow down the players from the side of SC. How is it going to work out? It's something that we have to wait and watch. Again, as I mentioned, Clown5 have a better advantage. They did trouble the likes of Skyesports, but SZ, right from the start of the playoff bracket, they've been pushed to the lower bracket. So let's hope it's a good journey for them if they're able to make a comeback. Otherwise, just like how we bid adieu to SA12, we would have to say goodbye to one of these two teams as we kick-start this match. It's time to see whether it is going to be Clown5 or it is Team SC to take the victory. Let the match begin.
The early stacks leveling up, the ones who will be going with that stack build will be very, very much important. Glitchy eventually will be the one to go for the mid lane and jungle out, level up himself from the early start. The Blasters will be there on the top lane. I really want to see Buzzwole, Cliffable, and alongside we will be seeing that Blissey and the Blasters on the top lane. That kind of contention will be very important. Well, as it seems, those early wild Pokemons are being completely, melted down by the ones of Clown5. They will be going and focusing on not letting Team SC take the control from the very start.
Got the initial stack, and now Obito trying to retreat back. Thankfully his teammate is there. Heal Pulse will help him heal. We're still looking forward to getting the bunny. He does get that 5 AOS energy, and therefore denying SC these early AOSs as well as experiences. But if the SC say you deny us experience, we're going to find the first KO, and the Phantom, before evolving itself, is sent back to the Pokemon Center.
Ninetales has already, we saw a few matches back which was played by Bacha. It found a lot of value for his team. Again, Animator will be playing a major vital role with those Avalanche and Blizzard. If it can stuck and stun the opponents, it did find a value, and eventually SC, they had got those blues in this area in their favor. But now, for now, Mew needs to level up as fast as possible. He has got the Electro Ball giving a lot of damage, but once again, Desi trying to just defend the goal zone because there is 3 stack coming under his way, but Buzzwole grabs him down in an instant. The Cliffable finds the KO, and now it's Team Clown5 who are trying to, take the control of the top lane and pushing SC into the backseat.
Sings. I want to see which moveset he's unlocked as of now. In the meantime, Glitchy back in mid-path buffs. But in the meantime, there's been an intervention towards the mid-path, and therefore SC want to drive them out. They successfully do, and Mew barely managed to survive. Clown5 still are the team who have an advantage in terms of goal, but finding the first knock was SC. Let's see if SC can do a lot more. A fight for the middle, Altaria and Swablu. Nice call coming through. Sings will be forced back, as well as Joy on the Trevenant, making even the Cliffable, as the healer, our supporter, forced back to retreat with the teammates. In time, it looks like on the top, the attack weight on the Buzzwole is getting its stack done. Clown5 get themselves to 39.
Now this is looking very much prominent, and as we just see, Mew has got the Solar Beam active for himself. Now this is going to be troubling for SC. They will be facing a lot of consequences. They wanted to, suppress Mew as much as possible, but now this time the Swablues and his Altaria would have made a little bit of difference, but it's Clown5 who is going to take this for themselves. But now that kind of level buff that is happening for Clown5, we can see 3 of the Pokemons have leveled up to 7, as we just see the Venusaur, the Buzzwole, as well as the... It's for now Slowbro trying to make a little bit of difference, trying to stop the attack or approach, going for the Regice, but those Spirit Shackle will give a lot of damage. Instantly the Solar Beam comes in, but this time the Spirit Shackle makes the connection as Trevenant has been put to rest.
I think these ranged attackers, both animated and glitchy, Blizzard as well as Spirit Shackles coming through has been brilliant. Finds a 2 KO streak on the Shackle. He's looking for a lot more, but not before securing the Regice. Tried to see if there is a chance of a steal. Did not work out. Had to use the Unite and then run away. Mew for now survives with the Spirit Shackle. It's still doing the damage. Double beamers is what Clown 5 are playing on, but it's not working because they're unable to reach out to Glitchy. But finally, the Buzzwall swoops in, uses the Unite, goes ham, and now chases all the players of SC back to their home goal zone, and they might find a lot more score. SC, even after getting themselves a Reggie, are unable to score even a single goal, and it is Obito jumping on all the players. If he gets catch off Glitchy on that Desi, I think the bottom path or the bottom tiered one can be destroyed. He tries to catch Animator, but the backup was there. Now Glitchy has been driven in. Glitchy tried to save himself, but the Verdant Anger finds the confirmation and make it a double as it finds the 2 KO streak. And SZ, it feels like they might have lost control of this as the overdunk of 40 comes, and Clown 5 at 151, and Mew with another beam secures the KO on War Turtle.
Oh, this Buzzwole is actually making a lot of difference. The double solar beam is actually making so much trouble for the side of SC as they invade their jungle at this point. Clown 5, they are just obliterating Team SC with no loopholes and nothing to work out for them. Everything is working so perfectly, and the Buzzwole is playing so much major factor. Yes, the bottom lane first tier's goal zone has been taken down now. Focus comes on the Regiliki. They will be trying to melt it as fast as possible. But now, will the Spirit Shackle make a difference? Because the Solar Beam is making it as Blazy drops down to a pixel HP, but will be taken down eventually. Slowbo, he has got no other option rather than falling back. But this goal zone will also be taken down without any kind of problem as Clown 5
looking unstoppable is what Clown 5. Somehow SZ in the meantime, I think it was a bottom push to get that 21 score, but they're unable to put a stop to the secures of Regis, and their front line is functioning super flawlessly. It is led by Joy on the Trevenant, and right behind him is going to be Babu with that Cliffable, making sure the heal is constantly given. And then Obito immediately swoops in. Nice superpower coming through, and then looking for a smackdown. Then we see Unites being used. Knock was tried. It does not work out. Genesis also put down his Hydro Typhoon. It eventually falters as he gives away a KO, and Obito chasing Glitchy right now, finding a KO, and that's going to be big streaks for both none other than the Buzzwole and the Venusaur. They make do and destroy tier 2 on the top, and SZ looks like they're out of this first game, at least for now. There's just 2 more minutes on the clock for the final stretch, but I still feel like they do not have any control.
Oh man, you can just see why we are talking about this, because Clown5 320 score and they're destroying the goal zones. It is just a ranked match, it's nothing more than that, but they now are in the contention to get this Regirock in their favor. It was SZ who took the first Regice, but they could not capitalize on it. But this time I really don't think Clown5 will allow them to even come closer to Regirock, as they are just buying the time. And this double solar beam, you can see from one direction Mew is going and using his solar beam, from the other in a crossway Venusaur is also coming with that sludge bomb and the solar beam, creating a lot of impact in Buzzwole. He's just handling the front line so pretty well. There is no such mistakes that are being committed by Clown5 and leaving them on the top. SC, will they be just focusing on the Rayquaza securation in the last moment?
Unites ready on the go for Clown 5. It's only Trevenant who needs his Phantom Forest. On the other end, SC also have their Unites. A fight has been initiated. Joy leading the charge along with the Cliffable, but Cliffable takes a lot of damage because of Blizzard and Avalanche and runs away. Has the Moonlight, will heal himself as well as the other teammates. In the meantime, it looks like the Blastoise thought of getting a fight against Regieleki, maybe even a secure. Glitchy with a Shadow Sneak finds the place, but I do not know if he found a connection on the Shackle. In the meantime, Beamers are ready. They're on the top path. Surf coming in from Genesis pushes Obito away, but the beams from Venusaur are not stopping. Same goes from the Mew. Maybe the Regieleki might not be in contention. Genesis gets the heal coming in from Blissey. That egg, Bliss assistance, but I don't know if it's going to be of value because there's just 10 seconds on the clock and such a Unite being used so early, and that too for your defenders, meaning now your ranged attackers will be vulnerable, which Clown 5 can take advantage of, and Clown 5 are already trying to do that, and trapped as the players of SC gets out with a Surf Blastoise, but the beam, it's still ongoing.
You can see Blissey, he's barely surviving at this point, and those solar beams creating a lot of hindrances. Instantly the blizzard pops in, trying to find a lot of value. All the solar beams, they're dodging it. SC, they're trying to just be there and trying to not make any kind of mistakes in the final stretch fight, because it's going to cost them a lot. Those Spirit Shackle will make those connections, but every time the solar beams are being dodged by Team SC,
before Slowbro could find its unite or its prey, he was immediately sent back to the base, and now big solar beam, big damage, and the avalanche stops. Unite being used from Blastoise finds big damage, but the counter from Verdant Anger, Venusaur, it finds along with the help of Obito. And look at Glitchy. Wait, did a glitch happen? Obito did not connect any move on him, therefore Glitchy managed to survive and run away, but Genesis, he's not going to survive. A chase coming in, and Mew finds the KO, and now Obito running towards Glitchy. Glitchy trying to survive with that Desi. It's not happening. If he's running away from one, then there's a long range solar beam coming in, which he's unable to dodge. Cyclops, he's back again from the Pokemon Center, but can he find any value? He's called in his teammates Vishu as well as that Ninetales. Previously Ninetales worked out really well, which we saw from Bacha, but this time it has to work out better, but barely surviving. Made use of the snow globe coming through, but still ends up giving away. It's KO. Another KO to fall up as the Blissey falls. Right now it is none other than a Slowbro trying to survive. A Surf comes in to buy some more time, but it is not going to be enough. Slowbro also goes along with that, the Desi as well, and make it a team KO as the last Blastoise falls apart. It is Clown 5 winning this first round. 15 seconds on the clock. There are going to be a couple of Pokemon who are going to be coming up, but I don't think they'll be able to stop 100 coming in, because there's a home goal 100 also happening, and therefore they'll be in contention for that. And the Venusaur secures 100, pushing Clown 5's total closer to 500.
What a game it turned out to be for Clown 5. What an opener for them. At least the win that they wanted, the kind of performance they wanted to show all the people who are watching us live. They have done what they wanted to do. Look at the numbers of assists. Even the Buzzwole has 14 for him, 11 for Cliffable, as well as the Venusaur, as we were talking. He has got 11 KOs and 11 assists. Those solar beams were something that annoyed the complete squad of SZ so much.
Sings brilliant, Legion amazing, Obito hands down played super well, made sure that whatever happens he keeps his stacks on going, and this is something that we spoke about. Glitchy, he did not get a single stack, I'm pretty sure. Genesis also had the special attack specs, did not, maybe got a 1 or 2 stack, but that's all. What more can you ask? As you can see, it's only 21 AOS energy that has been scored, and that is on the back of Genesis, whereas his counterparts, the whole team, even the barest goal that was done was from Joy, who's at 12, but look at the assists that he has, 13, and Bao has 11 assists. It's just a brilliant showcase of how you should kind of maintain your lines in terms of how the front line needs to function, how your tanks need to function, and especially your beamers need to function. And you mentioned about the crisscross beams, right? They literally were like a multiplication symbol, and they were multiplying in terms of damage being dealt on their opponents. As you can see, 1,18,000 coming in from Sings, and Legion with 99,000.
Damage was something that, cost it. What would you just tell about the kind of combination that they came up with? I mean, Ninetales was there to, work out, but eventually the way Clown 5, started suppressing Team SZ, when we just saw that Obito reaching level 9, Buzzwole stepped in, and every time Mew as well as Venusaur both were there to support specifically Buzzwole and Trevenant from behind. It was super amazing tactics that came from their side.
Right, as of now, it feels like, as we did predict, Clown 5 seems to be a better team compared to SC. That's how it's functioning. I think especially the early utilization of Bliss assistance coming in towards Genesis, I understand it was to save him, but just 10 seconds before the final stretch battle, making use of that, you saw how SZ were vulnerable. They were wondering what next to do. Cyclops thought he could swoop in right in between the legendary pit battle, maybe get his slow beam, but he immediately gets KO'd coming in from Buzzwole and the crisscross solar beam, and there was nothing that he could do, nothing of a Scald or a Surf, anything that he could use. And Clown 5, as you can see, from the start to the get-go till the end, they secured goals, whereas it was just the 4 to 6 minute mark while all the players from Clown 5 were on top. 21 was scored from Blastoise, Oh, I think it was when all of them were at bottom. Blastoise pushed on top, got just a 21, and that was the first stack on the specs. And I think that's where it all fell apart. They also had a they also had a Desi with the attack weight, and that also did not have any stacks. And this is where it all fails. I think any Pokemon, when you bring in with a stack item, you need to get it stack. If you don't, I think that's a immediate KO, and that team faints. That team loses the battle because they're unable to battle anymore.
This match definitely, taught a lot of lessons towards the side of Team SG. The mistakes or maybe the kind of tactical errors that happened for them in this very first match. Eventually, they will be trying to bounce back in the second match itself, because if they don't, they won't be keeping themselves alive in this competition or in the survival in this entire India Open 2023. The journey might end here and right now in today's date, because the way Clown 5 they have stepped in, they are looking like they will be going huge. Yes, they have faced they didn't had a great start for this India Open. They were dropped down to lower brackets, but the way they are playing, they want to make sure that in the lower brackets there is no better team than them to contest and reach to the grand finals.
Yeah, I think another one in terms of being a big hurdle, which was SATUL, are already out, right? So it feels like Clown 5 might have a journey, but Clown 5 also have to look forward to the next team moving ahead. There is still Revenant as well in the loser bracket, and the loser bracket is not, I would say, smaller right as now. It needs to go through a long journey, because we just are kind of wrapping up with winner bracket round 2s as well as round 3s. There's still 2 more rounds of winner brackets from where teams will again be pushed to the loser bracket. So therefore the journey is a little bit tardy as well as super tough, because it is going to take teams their all, not just in terms of their playstyle, but also in terms of whatever strategies that they had planned. In case they had a tough and a formidable opponent, they would have to put it out. And I'm pretty sure yesterday itself Clown 5 had to push to their extent where they wanted to take down FS Esports, but FS Esports I think proved one fact, that they are here this time at least looking forward to clinching their title, moving ahead, because eventually down the line it is all about getting towards the Asia stage, right, where they're going to be representing India. Previously we did have 4 teams. We will see how it progresses this time, but for now it's time for round 2 of this best of 3, of today's last best of 3. Let's see if SZ can make a comeback. They have the initial pick coming through, and they're banning Mew, and Inteleon is gonna be open. We already saw big beams coming through, and I think SZ got annoyed a lot, especially because of Mew's beam, because Mew can reset moves. On the other end, keep it simple, every team that has a second choice pick bans Zacian.
And that, as of now, it has worked pretty well, but Cyclops without any hesitation will be locking the Slowbro for their side. As Mew is not there, that will open the opportunities for the side of Team Clown 5 to go with the Inteleon pick, and this time I will be hoping to go with that liquidation kind of pick. And yes, Legion doesn't even hesitate for a single moment. Instantly the Inteleon pick comes in from their side, while Obito, what is he going to go? The Buzzball will definitely work, and I would love to see that once again.
Interesting choices as of now. Cyclops still sticking on to the Slowbro. It did not work in the previous game. I'm not too sure what is going to change here. It's okay, Babu, as you did mention, we are going to be seeing a Hoopa, and Hoopa, we've spoken about it, helps a lot in rotation. Glitchy Desi didn't work, so immediately locks on to a Delphox. Yesterday as well, Delphox, I didn't see much of value other than the fire spin. Let's hope it's going to be a different game today here. Vishu takes the Cliffable, which was let open from Team Clown 5 as their own. In the meantime, Obito says, let me put a game of Blastoise and show how it works out, along with Joy coming in on the Trevenant.
Final 2 picks coming from the side of SC. Genesis this time is not allowing the Buzzwole to fall in the hands of Clown 5. Is it so? Is it a kind of tactics that they want to go at this time? Yes, the Buzzwole stays with SC, and Animator comes up with the pick of Gardevoir, but Sayings now Leafeon comes into the play. I will be hoping for how that Solar Blade is going to make that effect.
I think in terms of the pick itself, Clown 5 never intended to bring back Buzzwole. They're like, we'll pick up other Pokemons. We also have Inteleon this time, and their intentions were clear with Inteleon being the first pick on Legion. I thought Sings might come back again on the Beamosaur, but it looks like there is going to be a Beam, but it's going to be on a Speedster this time. The Boink's coming in from the Solar Blade. Let's see how it works out. A quick change is what we saw. Animator is going to be playing on the Buzzwall. Genesis picks up the Gardevoir for himself. Cyclops right now takes the Delphox and gives Glitchy the Slowbro. So a lot of changes in terms of player roles. We generally saw Glitchy playing the ranged attackers, Genesis playing all rounders. So this change coming through, Cyclops playing defenders, I'm not too sure. I think this is like the final war cry coming here from Team SC, because they also know if they lose this round, they have nothing else to play here for India Open. They have to look forward to the WCS regional qualifiers later down the line, which is going to be towards the end of the year, I presume. We're almost at the end of the year, but yeah, again towards the start and end of mix between here and there. Hoopa, a golden badge coming through. We did question previously a golden badge Cliffable, and it did work out this time. It's going to be a golden badge Hoopa coming in from its OK Babu. He's already done and shown us his golden badge support place, and I think something to watch out. So far I've been seeing one single player having these golden badges coming through on supports, meaning imagine, Necros, how much time he's put in just to play these supports in ranked games and made sure won it, majority of it.
Exactly, and that's how it's going to be fatal. I mean, we have seen so many Hoopa plays from many different players. There is Fraud and all. They have already mastered, and we always, praise for their play. But this time, the new upcoming players are showing a very good high hopes for them. The Hoopa play, I'm really excited to see what Cloud5 has to offer for the second game. They will be trying to close it right here, right now, as the second match takes underway. But SC, the picks that they have, the kind of composition that they have built up, how are they going to capitalize on it? Because it seems that Cloud5, they have an early interest of suppressing SC from the very start. They're going with the stack pushes and instantly finding a lot of value for themselves.
Early game, Animator trying to survive, has the help of Heal Pulse, but the damage coming in from Obito and Babu, it's slowing him down, and it does find damage. And now maybe even Vishu, double KO coming in on the top path. The early score to just find the stack ends up being a problem for none other than SZ, and then a Solar Boing coming through. Slowbro, before even evolving, just on the poke, gets immediately poked back to the base as another feint, and big 3 KOs coming in to start things off. Cloud5, a comfortable and a very fast speedy starts for them in terms of taking control of the game.
Oh, they were waiting for the Altarian Swablues to come, but another Boinks comes in instantly, pushes Buzzwole to the back, and instantly he has to make a fallback because Cloud5, they're not even allowing a single wild Pokemon to walk away from their hands, and you can see the score difference over the very start. They want to capitalize as Trevenant. He's not letting even Slowbro to take a single bunny in his favor. But slowly and gradually, you can see Cloud5 completely invading the jungle of Team SZ.
Wait, what? Where have these players gone? Boinks coming in, Vishu goes down again. Slowbro has evolved, but it feels like he'll also be going down. And then the hyperspace hole sends the Leafeon back, gets a heal after finding a KO, and back to the mid path. Cloud5 just running around. And right now looks like it's going to be trouble again. Genesis is evolved, but the Psyshock does not connect. Therefore Legion survives. He's still running around. He is ready with crit hits, and his teammate is here. Hyperspace hole. Legion will go back to heal and might be again jumping in as his teammate Trevenant is also there, pushing to the mid path of SZ. They're trying to indulge in a battle again, giving a hyperspace hole, going in for a full heal, and from the backline Inteleon fully evolved, ready for a lot more crit hits. Sings comes in, a nice unite which is undodgeable, finding a KO and looking for a lot more, make it a 2 KO streak. Slowbro also is put down, and looks like Cloud5 has said there's no home for you guys, there's no mid path for you guys, we take control of entire Thea Sky Ruins.
Oh my god, you can just see how dominating, how aggressive they are playing already. It's just the span of like the 7 minutes has not been over yet, and one of the towers of Team SC has been breached on the top lane, and instantly we can see Buzzwole trying to get those stacks up for himself, but completely denied every time he's trying to step up front, because we see a complete stack happening from Cloud5, all the 4 players down there trying to get this Registeel under their control. And for SC, getting these objectives will be very, very much crucial, because if they don't get it, Cloud5 will also again have an upper hand. Those snipe
Oh,
shots will
Leafeon.
definitely make a lot of connection, but oh, this is going to be dramatic. But once again, that hyperspace hole brings up joy for their team.
Leafeon was on the backlines, waited for his teammates to do damage, then pounce upon them, finds the 2 KO streak, and now Slowbro is also put to rest, make it a 3 KO streak, as they'll be very soon destroying the bottom tier 1, as well as securing this Registeel for themselves without any contention. And on the other end, the Blastoise also has evolved, it also has its Unite ready. Everybody will be rotating to the top path. You already saw the hyperspace hole to quicken the rotations, and right now Inteleon making sure slows things down, gets caught with a fire spin, but you can see barely any damage being done with the fire spin because of the big level difference. And Trevenant Joy still leading charge. Again, fire spin comes through with a fire blast, does damage, but it's not going to be enough. Snipe shot, looking forward to finding a lot more. Babu swoops in with a hyperspace hole quickly. This was just a distraction, while the Blastoise secures the Regieleki and gets ready to push to tier 2.
They want to defend it, and we can see all the entirety of Team SG trying to put up some efforts, while Gardevoir will be in an off-angle position, but that snipe shot and the Unite commitment, it did a lot of damage, but the Spy Vision gets activated, and wait, what? Blastoise mates is Unite?
This Leafeon going ham, gets a 3 KO streak, allowing his teammates to secure a big difference. This time it's a 30x difference is what Clown5 have, and no control is what SG have. Finally they should be getting their Unites, but it doesn't even matter. Look at Delphox at 8. Level 10 is what we can see on none other than Gardevoir, but it doesn't seem to be doing any damage because we already saw the early Psyshocks being missed. Right now Glitchy still waiting for its Unite. I think Glitchy's Unite is going to be super crucial. The slow beam right now playing with telekinesis drags Bahu in, but Bahu ready. He immediately steps out using his Phantom Force, and right now he moves away as well. Not much trouble. Sings in the meantime, look at him sitting on the tall grasses along with his teammate, and now the Rings Unbound here to try and do a lot more damage. Sings is ready, Solar Boing comes through, and then the Unite. That two-step play coming in from him is big. Make it a 2 KO streak. Buzzwall tried, but it ends up being a 3 KO streak as the Gardevoir is put down, and Trevenant finds Buzzwall, and everybody gets taken down. Make it a 4 KO streak for Sings. Hyperspace hole ready. They might do damage, but all the 4 Pokemon get sent back to base. Full heal coming through. Jump back to go for a fight. Legion right now taking away all the buffs, making sure there's nothing left as a wild Pokemon to level up, but somehow they take down Joy, and Clown5 decide, okay, our front line is gone, let's not make things a little bit easier, or let's not give a chance for SC to make a comeback by giving away our experience. However, they're ready to take away the Registeel. Registeel fight has been started, but look at where Bao is, right behind enemy lines, tried to act like a distraction, then comes in the Blastoise. A nice Unite after the surf, but I think it got stopped by the slow beam coming through, so the Unite has been failed from Blastoise, but the last hit from the Leaf Blade comes in, secures the Registeel, making the attack even more devastating. A little bit of a whiff coming through on the Hydro Typhoon, but it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure Clown5 will be just super happy with the position, the stance that they're in, and there's going to be a big overdunk that they tried to do, but there was a little bit of a stop. So 13 still left to destroy the tier 2, but in the meantime gets hold of Buzzwall, gets a KO, make another 2-step Unite coming through. In the counter there's been a Fireworks Unite coming through. Vishu trying to survive, but the Solar Boing in their own flux zone, and Sings, how many KOs is he on right now? I'm pretty sure north of 15.
Cliffable wanted to take an exit but didn't have a lot of chance. Even Blastoise will be going up with the duel against Buzzwole, but it seems all the buffs being stolen by Clown5. Look at the score, it's already 400 up, but that hyperspace hole is actually working like wonders. Instantly those heals coming up. Trevenant will be coming up in the battlefield, and now that Hornleech will drag Buzzwole to its extent, and Inteleon does the formalities, and the Buzzwole has been completely shut down. This Regieleki push, if it happens, it will be going for the base zone. The home goal zone will be in a vulnerable spot if the Regieleki completely gets in the favor of Clown5. As it seems, the entire distraction is happening. Inteleon is constantly giving a lot of damage with his snipe shots and making sure that Team SG doesn't even have a single chance to have a contention for this Regieleki, as Blastoise does the job. Inteleon finds a value, and that's the 1 KO that he was in a very much need.
Again, Hydro Typhoon strikes everybody. Then the Solar Bound finds the first. Gardevoir is down. There's the Phantom. Rings Unbound also being used. Buzzwall is right now trapped. He had to use his Unite to find a way, but the two-step comes through. Finds a KO along with the help of the Inteleon. Solar Bound still coming through. Inteleon with a 3 KO streak. And it looks unstoppable with the last being picked on the Buzzwall. Entire team wiped and scores being unstopped. Clown 5. 695 is what they're sitting in, and Bawu, he'll easily swoop out of this battle with the Phantom Force, and there's nothing that the side of SZ can do. Another 100 being dunked from the Inteleon, and this makes trouble here for SZ. SZ right now randomly trying to fight because they know they've already lost this fight. Coming back from here is going to be super tough because especially the level difference is too huge.
That level difference is definitely making an impact, but those kind of long duels and snipe shot, then again Leafeon stepping in, invading the backlines, getting those attackers down is making such a joy, and the Blastoise going with the serve. Oh, this time it will be denied, but that triple KO streak coming up from the side of Leafeon is doing wonders. At least 4 to 5 times the entire squad of SC has been completely shutted off, and the Rings Unbound hops in the base goal zone of Team SC, and they're unable to function because it seems that there is going to be another Team KO as Gardevoir. He wants to step outside, but he hesitates. He's waiting for his teammate, but look at Clown 5. They're not even allowing them to step outside of their spawn.
There's nothing that they can do. They're going in for a heal, coming out, and certain times getting KO'd in their base itself. This looks big time trouble. There was Singularity as well as Fireworks used. Finally they take down Joy, but the Hydro Typhoon, it's still there to strike. 20 seconds on the clock, and looks like Team SZ are full on sportsman spirit, not giving anything away. They did the slow beam come through, but still doesn't find the KO on the Blastoise. Obito still survives, and he's moving back as well. How does he survive? Barely breathing. And look at Sings, he's like, I'll be there closer to their goal zone. Will try to do damage. Finally with the telekinesis, they'll be able to take down the Leafeon, but it doesn't matter. Obito is back with heal, ready for another fight. He would have even taken down the Gardevoir again, as he did push them out with the surf coming through, but Clown 5 just made it seem like this game was done when we started, and towards the 2-minute mark itself, when they invaded their mid path. And oh my god, this is why it says Sings on 24 KOs plus add that assist, 37 knockouts that he was a part of. Single-handedly fainted all the Pokemons from the side of SC, and this battle is done. SC cannot fight anymore, and our winners are going to be Clown 5.
You can just see Joy with a 32 assist for OK Babu. It's OK Babu, that Hoopa. Oh my god. 32 assists for him. Even he was a part of 37 knockouts for himself, and instantly Joy also with 22 assists. This was just not a compy match. It seemed to me that it was a ranked match, and they were dominating like anything. Oh, take a bow to this new uprising players, Clown 5. What a statement they have made. 899 score. And look at the kind of damage that the Inteleon and the Leafeon did. Over 1 lakh for both of them. It was just tremendous.
Ouch, this is gonna hurt, especially for SG. And how the battle kind of concluded. This was just Clown 5 rubbing salt on the wounds of SG, trying to make a comeback. They got a defeat in their first game, tried to play this loser bracket game as well, tried to see if there's a stance or an approach, did not work. But I am right now kind of blown out of waters, because if Clown 5 had this kind of a capability, right, when they fought against Skyesports, I already mentioned the fight with Clown 5 and Skyesports was a close one. It was just Skyesports were good in the end game, worked late towards the game, and that's the reason Skyesports are moving ahead in the winner bracket. But if this kind of a capability is there in Clown 5, I'm very worried for all the other teams, and especially worried for Skyesports in case there is a chance of that revenge happening, and I'm pretty sure Clown 5 are not going to hold back. And look at this, there was just that 2 stack that we see from the Buzzwall having the attack weight, and all in that 0 to 2 minute mark. And this is why I said just after the 2 minute mark we knew whose game it was. As soon as the first goal zone, as you can see around 2.5 minute or 3 minute mark, the first tier 1 was destroyed. From there on it has just been Clown 5 running across all the players. And look at this, very early itself, between the first and the 4th minute, they got 3 stacks done on the Leafeon, and after that Leafeon has been just dunking 50 plus Chaos energy goals. that should tell you of how I would say the stacking was kind of being concentrated on the Leafeon, and this just went ham. There was nothing in terms of Clown 5 could have, sorry, SC could have bought things back. Brackets, right as now, I'm worried for every other team in this playoff bracket. NDY, I'm not too sure what they will be doing. Forge Your Legacy is what they got the defeat from. We did not see their game on stream, and for viewers who are wondering what happened in their game, all these games are simultaneously happening off stream as well, because there's so many matches in the playoff bracket. There are going to be simultaneous games off stream. Some games will be seen here in terms of which team is playing better and which team kind of got eliminated. So we had one team moving ahead today and two teams getting eliminated, Necros.
Exactly, but that being said, as you mentioned, you are worried about the teams. I'm also worried about what NDY will be, facing up against, because after seeing this match, yes, we did not see the match of NDY, but once again, when they will be seeing that how Clown 5 performed today. If I were on NDY's side, I will be preparing a hell lot at this moment, because the way Clown 5, showed the utter domination that they have on their side, in their capabilities, every other team in the lower brackets should actually worry about them. They were not able to perform in that drastic way in front of Skyesports, because yes, Skyesports, they had a kind of experience factor played against them, but I will be definitely, rooting, or will be looking forward to see if we can see Clown 5 in the grand finals of India Open 2023.
It's going to be one hell of a battle as we move ahead here in India Open 2023. I'm not too sure what we have to think about or what it is going to be all about, because I think, as we mentioned, right, we're at a very weird position where anybody can play however they want. It's all about how the team synergizes together, and at certain times some games are decided in very start of the game, around the 2-minute 4-minute mark, and some games are still not decided towards the end. Yesterday as well as today, I think SATL, we saw one game where they were in full control, right? That last moment where they lost that legendary pit control, and immediately things turned around where things were bought back. I think that's where I was like, wait, what? How did that just happen? SATL were about to have a clean closure on that best of 3 game, and that's what it is all about. A little bit of a flub and things can immediately fall flat, and right as now 2 teams have flubbed. There's still a long journey here. We've just faced 2 teams being eliminated. The journey for 8 teams still continues as we move ahead, Necros, but it for sure has gotten super interesting and even more spiced up.
Oh man, I just remember the previous time we saw like WC's regional qualifiers. The lower brackets seemed more interesting than the upper brackets,
Again,
and
it
if it
is.
happens again in the India Open, I would be surprised. I mean, if you see the game, Lucifer, the way Clown 5 is stepping in, they will be facing NDY. We will be seeing that match or not. We will get to know in the further dates. But also, there is Revenant, a new Revenant that came in the form. They also have been pushed down to the lower brackets. A lot of teams in the upper brackets, at least 2 of the teams will be, stepping down in the lower brackets after the few couple of matches. Skyesports is there, Griffin is there, Forge Your Glory, and there are a lot of teams, True Gravity as well. I wonder which team will be dropping down to the lower brackets. But when the strong teams come down to the lower brackets, the new uprising stars, those who have been pushed down already, they will be also making a lot of strategy planning against them, because they know how they have that kind of experience factor for them. But also, if you had teams like Clown 5, they can just be coming up with a lot of surprises.
There are still 8 teams fighting here in the Pokémon Unite India Open 2023 playoff journey to prove who's the top Indian team, as we will be concluding eventually over the weeks. But as of now, today's 3 best of 3 games on stream has come to an end. We'll be looking forward to 3 more games tomorrow. So make sure you're tuned in with us, subscribe, and make sure you don't go away. Hit the bell icon, and make sure if you have any doubts, do reach out to us as well. We'll be more than happy to talk to you guys. But for today, we're going to be telling you see you tomorrow, and take care.